start streaming. If we are, God, I'm not sure I'm physically prepared, but if we're physically, if not emotionally prepared, let's play some D&D.
Let's do this.
Yikes!
Woo!
So, like, since Grim takes notes,
I did, and I made notes for last session.
tell me what happened last session, because it's
We're in
all
a
a blur.
Last session. So last session it was the evening of our arrival in Secomber, and we'd got to the tavern, and we decided we were going to go get some food and listen to the chat, see if we could hear anything going on. So we overheard the barwoman being called Shayla. I can't remember if we decided if that was specifically something we needed to know, but I haven't made a note of that. There was a sprite flitting around in what appeared to be some kind of formal suit who was called Rum Cup, and Terrell ordered a drink called the Rum Cup, which ended up being quite a song and dance for it being made. Yelena notices that the tavern seems to be full of merchant types, and we're the only sort of adventurer types. But we'd all been pointed this way from the main gate. She also spotted an emo type guy sitting in a corner reading a book, which was the DM trying to tell us to do something, but we completely ignored him, so we might go back to him.
Oh, wait, what was that? What was that thing that I don't...
the emo guy.
Oh, yeah, maybe that was something, maybe not. I mean, in the grand scheme of things,
maybe.
It was just one random thread, but how many random threads have I thrown at you and you've ignored it thus far?
Well, yeah.
That's what D&D is all about.
And yet
Indeed.
You're still here. You're in the sewer. I mean, how bad could it be?
Well, so Lady Bellafauna came down dressed in some used, worn, but obviously cared for armour. She was a bit upset. Started drinking whiskies. We told Kai to go ask her what was up, and Kai gave her the tough love approach. But she basically said that she thought she might have sold her late father's ring by mistake. It's the only thing she's got to remember him by. So we suggested that if she has, that it might, make its rounds, and obviously keep an eye out for it and stuff like that. I mean, it's a long shot. I mean, how big is this world anyway? But you never know. And then when she'd gone, we decided that possibly Lord Jamont's got it in his lockbox, and maybe we should have a snifty at that at some point.
And I did confirm that it was in the box that Kai and Yelena looked in Lord Jamont's tent.
Right. Okay.
That they have physically seen this ring before.
Right. Anyway, Kai's tough love calmed her down enough to go off and inspect the sewer system with Ragnar, which is what she was intending to do for the evening. And she took another dwarf along whose name I haven't written down, but never mind. And then while we were eating, Terrell overheard people talking about keeping away from sewers. It seems to be that there's a monster down there, and there is a job up on First Hill, which we discovered was like one of the hills, and it's where they post work that needs doing. So yeah, there's a job posted up for killing of whatever it is. It's in the sewer that's taking people. There's also a job up for capturing of a wyvern that has been spotted outside of town recently, which we think is Lady Bellafauna's, and we thought we should let her know when we next see her. But with the chat about the monster down in the sewer, we thought maybe we should go after Lady Bellafauna. So whilst we're trying to find access to the sewer, we pass by the Elkhorn store, which we're supposed to be going to pick up the statue from, that has a Minotaur stood outside, and I can't remember his name. Was it Pashen? Pasha. He was possibly the best NPC character we've ever had. He was fab. But he said he hadn't seen Lady Bellafauna or a woman with two dwarfs pass by. He confirmed that he was hired by the store owner who has gone on holiday, which is a bit inconvenient for us, considering we've been told to come and pick something up. But he did suggest to maybe have a word with the store owner's wife, or ex-wife, sorry, who works at the Seven String Tavern. And also mentioned that the owner was friends with the late wizard, so maybe someone who knows the wizard might know how we can get into the store. Anyway, we end up finding a manhole cover that lets us and Sprinkles into the sewers. We're attacked by a group of rats. Kai fireballs them all to cinders. Yelena can see tracks going through two sets of tunnels. Oh, there's the ring. 2 sets of tunnels, east and west, but the west one seemed to be a bit more recent, so we head that way. We can see the waters gradually rising. Yelena can hear sounds from the southeast. We pass a pipe releasing sewer water and come to a valve that Kai sees has been recently used. Yelena thinks it might let the water drain away, so we attempt to turn the valve, and it turns into a mimic and attacks us. So we killed it. And then just as we finish off the mimic, Yelena hears a scream and a clatter from the southeast tunnel. Dun dun dun! And that is where we ended the last session.
Dun, dun, dun. That was a pretty good summary of
Well
what
done.
happened.
Yeah.
So that was better note taking than I usually do.
Yeah, good thing because I didn't bother preparing a summary. It's just like y'all wound up in the sewers and shit.
We were in the sewers.
Literally sewers and shit.
Sewers and shit.
I did have like housekeeping things. One thing is I've updated all the cantrips on your actions that deal damage to reflect that you are now level 5 and they do more damage.
Cool.
So we shouldn't have to like do any of that manually anymore. I may have also added in your bonus damage, like Terrell has a little extra force on her sword. I think we already had that set up. But I might have altered Yelena's so that your psychic damage is on your weapons now instead of being a separate thing.
Let me take a look.
I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I just thought about it. You know, once you're like old, it all runs together.
That's right. We got poison arrow and psychic damage. Yeah, it looks like it's still separate.
Okay, well, maybe I need to make a note
God, I'm
to
gonna have
myself.
to remember this. You know, I need to remember I've got spells that I can use.
You got spells.
I never think about that.
They're multiplying.
I am the worst spell user.
I don't know if you've even like selected the extra spells that you had that we added.
I think so. Yeah, I think I've got them all there. I've got Animal Friendship, Charm Person, Fog Cloud, Hail of Thorns, Hunter's Mark, Speak with Animals.
And like technically,
Beast Sense, Heart Strike, Misty Step.
I think you're allowed to change them at long rest too. I think so.
Probably.
To be fair, you have used Misty Step.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Which is
you have.
really useful.
Almost
Yes.
everybody in this party has Misty Step, I think.
I don't
If
think
not-
Kai does.
Because getting
Yeah.
the heck out of there is always a good idea.
I don't think the
With-
owlbear can Misty Step, but hey,
And the wizard doesn't have Misty Step, I don't think.
but everybody else
No.
does.
Yeah,
The
so
wizard doesn't have anything
apart from Fireball.
non-destructive.
Fireball and acid arrow is pretty much the
Yeah.
wizard's toolkit. The other thing, note on tattoos, because there was some talk with Ragnar about tattoos
Mhm.
last time. I put a note that I think I shared with you about what tattoos Ragnar knows how to do at this point.
Oh, yes, you did. I think so, but I don't think I've got it open anymore.
So that's there for your reference. And then lastly, rum cup. The rum cup drink that you had at the Singing Sprite Tavern that was a big spectacle. And all of you sampled it. I forgot to mention that gives you an advantage on performance checks for 1 hour. So you guys all have that for a little while longer. Like maybe 10 minutes. If you need to make a performance check in the
If
next
only
10
we were
minutes,
bads.
if only you needed to tap dance for a mimic or something to avoid doom, that might have come in handy. But, I mean, now you know. You feel extra performative.
Oh, dear.
So, we are in the sewers. We are in this, it's a fairly long tunnel. There's a lot of garbage accumulated here. You've just defeated a mimic. You were fiddling with, you were doing like tighty-righty on the valve to stop the flow of water that seemed to be filling this room and the channel running down the center of it. You kind of wanted to nip that in bud because it seemed like the water was filling up in the room and that eventually it would overflow and start affecting your general surroundings, which is how you encountered the mimic in the first place. You have heard a crash and a scream from the distance to the southeast. And there is one tunnel outlet from this room to the southeast. There is also one to the southwest that was less screamy and crashy. What would you like to do at this juncture?
Would Did we not say at the end of the last session we were going to go off to the southeast and see?
Yeah, the screamy crashy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was looking for like more deets as to exactly what actions you were taking to pursue this screamy, crashy sound.
Okay, so we've got. Oh, right. So do we want to just charge down, or do we want to be like sneaky or
Stealthy.
Yeah. I can't remember if we've got dark vision or not. I'm going to get mixed up with characters now.
Yeah, I think I do.
Terrell, you do not have dark vision.
No. Okay.
Do you want me to lead? I think I've got good stealthy.
I have to look again. Does Sprinkles have dark vision?
Oh, good question.
She has keen smell. She does have dark vision.
Right, so it's just me that's.
So it's just you, Terrell. Your blind is about down here. Yeah, this particular room, there is a faint light because there are. You see where there is the manhole cover, the access grate in the center of the room? There's one directly above as well that leads back, that seems to kind of be like, you can see a little bit like teeny tiny little filters of light. So this is not complete darkness. It is very, very low light right now. But as you kind of like peer both ways down the tunnels leading off of the southern section of this room, you do not see a lot of light.
Okay, well, I mean, I can walk with Sprinkles and like hold on to her so she guides me. If I go with her behind Yelena,
Yeah.
I don't know if Kai wants to bring up the rear or if he wants to go ahead of me.
I think bringing up the rear would be good. Is that where you're sandwiched in?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can let us know if all
Yeah.
comes out right. Yeah, do that
we'll
then.
do that. Mhm,
So
yeah.
arrange yourselves accordingly.
I'm assuming that's the right direction, right?
Yeah, southeast. We said yeah.
And
Sprinkles fit down there.
so this tunnel, these are narrower tunnels. It's just over 5 feet wide. And the overhead at times, it ranges from maybe being about 10 feet high to maybe a little bit more or a little bit less. And what you see ahead of you, Yelena, is a flight of stairs going downward. So it seems that you're gradually getting deeper and deeper below the streets of Secomber.
Okay, I'm actually kind of wounded now that I'm looking at it.
Oh. I can lay on hands.
Yeah, can we do that?
Yes. Hang on. Where's my lay on hands? There. Okay. So.
Do you guys have any healing potions or items or things?
Check the inventory.
We have the chicken drumsticks, didn't we?
Ah,
You do have hot wings, yeah.
Yeah. So mystical
the
chicken wing. And
Which
the
is
honey caramel apple.
I think that was just a honey caramel apple. It's probably rotten by now, so you might want to delete that one.
Oh.
That tree gave it to you at Honeyfest, like a ways back.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, right? Last August.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to say that I ate it at the time then.
Should I just eat the chicken wing here? Oh, it's like 2d4 plus 2.
So
Okay.
it's like a potion of healing. I'm not telling you to drink it. I'm just saying, or to eat it. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I mean, I might as well.
Trying to make you aware of your resources at this juncture.
Yeah. All right, I will consume my chicken wing. And I close the window, and so 2d4 plus 2. Should I just roll that?
Yes, I think you can direct. Do you have it on your action sheet that you have a chicken wing? Did I do that?
I've got it in my equipment.
All right, but it's not under actions as a spell.
No.
Okay, then just roll it, and when you tell me, I'll add the 5, or you can do it on your character sheet. You can add the 5 plus whatever you roll. reduce your wounds by that much.
Okay, hold on one second. So where? I don't have the chat window.
You don't have the chat window?
I don't have the chat window.
What?
What?
Hold on.
How does that happen? Is it behind something?
Trying to figure out. I don't know what's going on.
That's a problem I'm not quite sure how to fix.
Never
Googling.
mind.
Hang
Here
on.
we go. The window was. Yes, it was behind something. Is the short answer.
All right.
Yes.
Cool.
Hooray!
I cannot use tools properly.
It's
Wow,
a
you're
2d4.
quite wounded, aren't you?
We do this like once a month.
5 plus 7.
Is it +2 or is it +4? I can't remember. I've already forgotten. 7? Is it +2? So 12 points of healing altogether.
Sorry, I'm just rolling things to be confusing.
Okay. So you've healed 12 hit points. I will update you.
Cool. Thanks.
I mean, I can hit you with the cure wounds as well if you want. That's a 1d8.
So I'm down 13 points.
Yeah. Can I? If I do that on, do I? Does that do that to me instead of her? Right. Can you stick that 5 on for Yelena as well then? I probably should have just rolled down
so
there.
you're down 8 now.
Okay, that's good. That's better.
Me.
You're
Thank
beefier.
you.
So places where you were basically grappled and bit by creatures. I think a rat gnawed on you earlier, as well as the mimic.
I think the mimic did me some serious damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were the one who was righty-tidying.
Yeah. Yep. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
So you can see down this hallway. You see the stairs leading down. This tunnel is about 20-30 feet in distance, and it seems to be like leads to a platform overlooking another room that is very similar, from what you can tell, to the room you're leaving.
So can Sprinkles fit down there? Is she mostly floof?
She is. There's a lot of floof. It's a squeeze. So you might want to might need to be somebody behind her to kind of help smoosh.
Well, I can do that.
Help smoosh her way.
Okay, so I'm going to, I guess, very carefully go down and quietly go down to the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
So how's the squishing going?
She's squished. You can tell that this section by and far, it's a little bit damp underneath your feet, but the walls are not super wet in this tunnel. It's not super overly slippery. It seems that you turned off the faucet in the previous channel room before much water had a chance to overflow and travel down this way. Yelena, you've stepped into another room.
Mm-hmm. I see nothing. Do I need to do a perception check? So I see. Is that more stairs there? So is it sort of like a series of?
You're on kind of like a little platform. It's a chamber much like the previous. It's just not as long. It's a shorter chamber. I'm like, what words would I use to describe this chamber? I mean, you see the same. There's a few more pipes going on lining it. There's also a lot of trash. Again, you see that there's an outpouring of discolored water coming from the pipes, and the channel is just to the point of overflowing. The rushing water is foaming and brimming over the bridges that lead across to the other side. And otherwise, it looks like this channel is pretty full. And as you look down, you see the water seems to be maybe about 5 or 6 feet deep at this point, up to your shoulders. And there seems to be especially rank refuse has caught underneath the metal walkways and clogged around the drains.
So are you saying it's 5 to 6 feet deep if I go down those stairs that are in front of me?
You go
Where the
down the
metal-
stairs, you see like the channel is like
The
five,
channel.
5 to 6
Okay,
feet
got you.
deep of
So
water.
that channel. So as
The
long as we don't...
water is just kind of slurping over the metal walkways right now at this point.
Gotcha.
But it's still filling. And you see that there's like an inch or two of water going over the stone floor
Okay.
underneath.
So I'm going to turn back and say if we want to go through here, we need to move.
Now you can make a perception check.
Let's make a perception.
You make a perception check. Everybody else, you would need to come into the room.
Okay.
But
Have I perceived?
you have perceived. Yelena, you pick up a distant splashing sound and some unintelligible shouts coming from, you see there's one outlet in the northeast of this chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming from that direction. There's like some echoing of splashing sounds and some shouts, but they do seem to be fairly distant. You can just barely make out what you think are voices.
Okay, so I'm going to convey that. I'm going to go down the stairs, go across that. I'm telling the team this. I guess I'm going to go down these stairs, go across that metal walkway very carefully, very quietly. I mean, I'm just wondering if everybody should stay back and I can go just peek around the corner.
Maybe so.
Does that work for everybody?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I suppose if Hulk grabs you, you yell and
Yeah,
we
I'll
come
scream.
running. Yeah.
As you
So-
cross this metal ladder, walkway,
Mm-hmm.
rampart, whatever, the trash that is collected over that grate and surrounding the walkway is especially rank. There's some rotted, funky, nasty stuff in there. Make a Constitution save,
Oh, great.
because the smell is overpowering. Oh, first
Yay!
moonshine cherry. But this isn't your first stank. You know, the woods,
The wood's full of stank.
nature is full of stank. And you shake it off, because you've been there, done that. I open the moonshine cherries and enjoy one. The first one is always the most enjoyable.
All right, so I'm going to continue on.
There is water coming out of the pipe in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
pouring into the room, and you see there's a section of additional valves that would control the water flow.
Surely that can't happen twice, right?
I don't know.
Can we do a check of any valves before we start?
A little perception check of the valves.
Sure.
Okay.
And Terrell, you're close enough. I mean, you're enough in the room, and Sprinkles is enough in the room to be able to do perception checks in the room.
Okay. Perception is wisdom.
Super perceptive now.
Wow. Not so much the Sprinkles, though.
Aw, Sprinkles. Oh, Sprinkles has advantage for smells, I think.
Oh, for smells, yes.
So is the stinky stuff gonna bother Sprinkles?
She's gonna have to roll for smell, but like she's also trying to pull out Bella
There you go.
Fauna's smell.
That's her second. Well, I did a wisdom. I did an intelligence on the first roll, which was a mistake anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, perception checks. She got advantage on sight and smell. So
She she doesn't have to speak with animals right now, but she seems to kind of like wiggle. You did some kind of like shorthand like ASL kind of signals with Sprinkles to try to communicate, right?
yes, we're trying to work on that.
So she does this like little wiggle that you interpret to mean that she feels like Lady Belafana has been this way at some point.
Okay.
Like bees do, the little interpretive dances.
Yeah.
Yeah, either that or she needs to pee. It's one of the two.
So do I perceive that the valves are valves?
Yelena, the valves seem to be valves to you.
All right.
You also notice that there is a faint rattling in the pipes throughout this room.
What, like there's rats in it, or
Something nasty in the pipes?
Do insight check to see if you understand what the rattling in the pipes could be.
Me as well?
Yeah, with an 18 on your perception, you rolled high enough as well.
Not terrible.
So I go, what is that?
So
Because I don't know.
You're not sure what that particularly means,
Mhm.
but Terrell, you think that might be pressure in the pipes.
Okay, do I feel that's like potentially a build-up and everything's going to explode? Or is it just general day-to-day running of the sewers?
You're like, it could be. So you're like, well, it depends on the whole. You don't have time to give a complete once over to the pipes, and you're not necessarily a plumber. But you're
True.
like, this could be something troubling. It could mean that there's too much like water pressure or something going on with these pipes where maybe we should be careful around them.
So does that mean we shouldn't turn off the pipes?
But you don't know. You don't know for sure. Like, you just know that, hey, that sounds like the pipes are under a lot of pressure right now.
Or does that mean the water's turned on too hard? I'm gonna go. So those are those
It's
two
like-
valves.
With Terrell's 15, she just knows that it seems to be pressure related and it's a cause for caution. But she's not a plumber, so she doesn't know exactly what's going on.
So if those are two valves, can I just try righty-tighting one of them to see what happens? Very, very gently and slowly.
Okay. So you gently, slowly start to righty-tighty
Right.
one of the pipes, and the water slows to half flow. But there does seem to be a little bit more vibration coming from the pipes. And to you, it seems to be focused on the pipes to the north side of the chamber.
Okay. I'm gonna gesture to everybody to say, hey, if we want to do this, let's move, because something bad's gonna happen either way.
Yeah,
so let's do this quickly. Let's not
risk making it worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So we need to pop over the wall.
Yeah. And I mentioned that they need to hold their breath.
Okay.
I hitches up his robe so he doesn't dangle it in the poo.
In the water, the stank water, and the poop.
Stank water.
Now, everybody but Yelena has to roll Constitution, but since you're holding your breath, you can do it with advantage. Your Constitution saving throws.
Okay. Advantage.
It's a little button on the bottom left that says ADV. Will give you advantage.
Ooh.
Terrell, you're good.
There we go.
Okay, roll for sprinkles, but I'll get the cherry.
Does she also get
She gets advantage as well. She had an 18 on her perception, right?
shit, that's the wrong one. Ignore that. That was wisdom instead of con.
No, not on her perception. She had she understands. I mean, I'm assuming you would have told her to hold her breath.
I would have minded it to her, assuming she's got dark vision, she'd better see me. I forgot to hit advantage, but I'm assuming an 18 is okay for her.
An 18 is good, yeah.
Right, okay.
Okay, so you all managed to withstand the first wave of harsh stank that came your way.
So I'm gonna peek around this corner.
As you move towards that hallway, Yelena, You realize that you see tendrils of steam starting to kind of seem to be starting to come forth from the pipes to the north and west of you. Not west of you, east of you.
Mm-hmm. So exactly where we're going.
Yeah.
Shit. Do I hear any human voices, noises, anything to make it worth continuing to go down this path?
That's where you heard sounds coming from when you did your previous perception check.
Yeah.
So you see like a little flows of steam.
Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming this can hurt us.
Oh,
So
no.
Yeah.
Hear frantic hooting.
I'm just saying now, because of your perceptions earlier, you noticed the steam coming out of the pipes, starting to come out of these pipes, and you noticed as the pressure seems to be start to push these bursts of steam from the pipes. So both of you and Sprinkles have advantage on your dexterity saving throw as you realize that a burst of hot, forceful steam is going to explode out of these pipe outlets. So the two roll dexterity saving throws for Yelena and Sprinkle.
We are starting with the cherries real early.
Yeah.
Jesus!
Bonnie's gonna be slaughtered in like half an hour or so.
Oh, no.
Sprinkles, no.
Was that 2 5s for Sprinkles?
Yeah.
Yelena, you dodge out of the way. You dive into the hallway, this like dark, narrow tunnel before the steam can get you. But Sprinkles, because she's so big, she's a big baby girl, and she can't get out of the way quite soon enough.
Does her fleece protect her?
The blast of the steam is enough that it just kind of like blows her feathers and floof back. It does damage to her. Like combined fire and force damage. 10 damage to Sprinkles.
Oh, no. Right, I will amend her hit point. Oh, no, hang on. Where's her wounding?
She lets out a gurhoot. And the steam subsides. I amended her hit points already.
All right, cool.
To show her damage. So you see there's like a tunnel about 15-20 feet ahead of you that's dark, Yelena.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns a corner to the south.
Okay.
You also notice that, yeah, this continues. There seems to be like a slight decline as this tunnel goes forward. And the overflow of water, which isn't as strong as it was when you first entered this previous chamber because you did that little righty-tighty, it was overflowing enough with that 1 or 2 inches of water covering the stones underfoot, under boots, that there's a trickle of water flowing slowly downhill around this corner underfoot. And it seems to be like this is the pattern of these sewers, that you're headed towards an area where water collects. Also, as an aside, the walls and the general surrounding tunnels, the stone of it seems to be much damper, slicker, moister surrounding you, and there is steady drip sound as you move forward.
Do I hear anything splashing? Like anything moving in the water?
You can do an additional perception check. Try not to roll a 20.
The DM won't survive.
Oh, God.
That was
Oh,
I got really nervous. You cannot pick out anything.
You realize you could just, Bonnie, you could just lie and say you ate one.
I could, but it's the spirit of the thing.
Yeah. Spirit being the keyword.
Yeah, definitely the spirit. So do you move forward? Because there's just enough room for like Sprinkles to squirm into the tunnel behind you at this point. But
But if we have to turn around, that's going to be...
Terrell and Kai have not passed the point where the steam burst previously burst forth.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And
So
you
did
don't
they
know
see
if
that
Don
happen?
They saw it happen. They saw Sprinkles get it, and you dive out of the way. They know that there's a threat, but they don't necessarily know if it's going to happen again or when it's going to happen again.
All right. So I think I'm hopefully sufficiently out of the way for Sprinkles to make her way in.
Okay. Well, I'm following behind. I don't know if that means I get past the steam or I've missed it.
So I'm sort of gesturing to Sprinkles. Come on.
All right. So Terrell, you pass through the area where the steam jet started up without any issue.
Okay.
I'm going to go a little bit further and then I'm going to wait.
All right. Yeah, like don't get too much further.
Yeah. It's hopefully enough room for everybody to get past that.
So that I can like describe things for you at this juncture. So you reach this long, narrow tunnel. It's slightly higher than it is wide. It's about 7 feet wide, like just wide enough for Sprinkles' hip bones when she's squatted. It's roughly 10 feet high, so there's a little bit of clearance over you, but you are in natural darkness. So Terrell, you're just kind of like stumbling behind with like one hand on Sprinkles' butt to guide you.
Mm-hmm.
There's that faint dripping sound echoing nearby, and the fetid air that surrounds you is just laden with damp. Again, this tunnel seems to be running in a gradual decline. Yelena, you can make out ahead of you, as well as Kai, once you get far enough in the tunnel. And let me check one thing for you, Kai. Okay, Kai, you made it out of the room fine.
Yay.
Kai and Yelena, you can see in the distance, and Sprinkles can see this too, but she just doesn't offer any comment. There seems to be a crate, a large box, partially blocking the tunnel ahead, about 10-20 feet from where you are, Yelena. It just seems to be a large wooden structure, about as wide as the tunnel, so there's not enough room for Sprinkles to squeeze past it at this point. It would be a very, very tight squeeze for you to squeeze past it, but it's only about 4 feet tall, so potentially it could be climbed over, but it is a bit of an obstacle to slow your passage.
Okay.
Can
I go up to it and peek over it?
Yes, you can go up to it, and you can peek over it. And as you, well, don't go over it. Oh, wait, maybe I didn't make it visible. Did I not make it? Is there a crate visible on this map?
Nope, everyone reverses.
Okay. Then let me make it visible. Is it visible now? Okay,
it's
now
visible
you see.
now.
There be a crate there.
All right, so I'm peeking over it. Do I see anything to be concerned about rushing over it?
In the distance, over it, you see that the tunnel continues for another 30 McMillion feet.
30 McMillion feet.
Just keeps it going on and going. So the crate itself, does it look suspicious? Anything triggering on it? I don't have to check traps or anything, but
No tongue or teeth.
No tongue or teeth.
I'm trying to kind of release some stuff on the map. Okay, so you see that there is a little bit of an opening about 50 feet further down this tunnel. That there seems to be a little bit of an opening. It seems to be like a gap before a path continues to the south. But because the amount that the crate is blocking your view, you can't see a lot of detail. You just see that it's slightly opened area. Everybody can do an additional perception check for inspecting the crate as well as making guesses about what's ahead.
Does Sprinkles get advantage again?
She can continue her smelling, yeah.
Okay.
Do I do an investigation or perception?
You can do it. Well, what do you want to investigate?
I'm just very curious if there's anything cool in this crate.
Okay.
Or is it just a thing blocking us?
You can totally investigate the crate if you want to investigate the crate.
It's a crate.
It is a crate.
I'm happy to say.
Sprinkles, she seems very excited. And she keeps in her motions. Like, she gives, like, the little signal, like, yeah, like, it's claw with, like, the non-opposable thumb up. That, yeah, Bellafana has gone this way. But
Okay.
she seems to have she's excited about some other stuff. Or she feels like there's something else she wants to tell you.
Right, then I can speak with animals.
Yeah, either one of us can. But
yeah, you can if you want.
You want me to just?
You're
me to
probably
spell
going
it?
to be able to see it. You'll probably see her be more excited. Where I will just feel her shuffling.
All right. I will cast Speak with Animals.
Hi.
What's going on? What do you see? What are you excited about?
Well, I can smell Bellafana. I can totally smell her, but I want to warn you that the water is making it like it's getting tricky. Like, I can smell her down this tunnel, but then if it gets too wet, like when we were in the previous room, I could kind of smell her then, but because it was so wet, I couldn't smell her as good. So
Yeah.
I'm scared. I just want to warn you that if it's a really wet place, I might not be able to smell her tracks.
Can you hear? Does Sprinkles have good hearing?
I can hear. I think I hear things. No, I don't hear things. I smell things and I see things really well, but my hearing, I hear the word.
We're not sure.
I hear the word no really well, especially when someone I like says it. I don't hear that word so good when people I don't like say it, but hey, I'm baby.
Oh.
I also want to tell you that I smell a lot of people. I don't know them, but there's a lot of people. Like, it's not just Bellafana. And it's like more than 3 people.
Okay.
Because you said that Bellafana was like with Ragnar and that other guy who I don't know what he smells like, was a Badger Sweeney, yeah. I don't really know how they smell as good as Bellafana.
Are they all people? They're not like other creatures?
I think I smell goblins.
Oh, good.
And people. And maybe some other weird stuff. And I think I smell dead people.
I smell dead people.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Right, so the only bit we will have understood was Yelena saying, "I smell dead people." And it's like, oh, what?
So we'll just assume that I have conveyed everything that.
All right, in that case,
said.
I want to know, when she says she can smell lots of other people, is it fresh? Is it recent, or is it like the sewage workers that have like been and gone sort of thing?
Yeah.
Which?
It's fresh.
Fresh. Okay.
Like, I mean, I think they came this way recently. It doesn't seem old. And the dead people, there's some old dead stuff down here, like in the previous room. But like, I think there's some fresh dead stuff because I smell blood, especially to the south.
All right.
Do I see? And I guess it's a crate. So I like, I'm just wondering if there's a body in the crate.
I don't smell a body in the crate.
Okay.
The crate doesn't really smell of anything except for like there's padding and the woody stuff that they use. Like, I bet I could take a good nap in it. Like, it has the cedar shavings or something.
I'm not sure she'd fit in there.
Yeah. Can I just lift the lid up and peek in?
Like, I don't think it needs a perception check for you to notice this, but what you see when you approach the crate, on the side of the crate, and I'm going to get rid of this one little thing. On the side of the crate, you see emblazoned in quite a stylish relief a logo with like gold leaf elk horns, and below it in a fine text it says Elkhorn Emporium. And beside that, the only other thing you see is almost like a branded, like a very faintly burnt on serial number that doesn't really mean anything to you.
Okay.
It's a collection of letters and numbers.
Can I get the lid off?
It is nailed down.
Anybody got a crowbar?
So yeah,
Let me check.
Check your tools. You also could like go at it with weapons if you wanted to.
What have I got?
Torch.
Where's my kit? What kit have I got?
It's the Adventurer's kit. Is that what I have?
I think somebody has a crowbar that you used to open up a manhole cover. I just don't remember who.
I think that was you, Yelena. I think you're right. I think it was your Adventurer's kit that gave you it.
So I don't see it. I mean, because I don't have the Adventurer's kit in here, but I think there was some stuff that got unpacked from it, and I don't see. Well, do we just want to assume I have some sort of crowbar-esque?
Yeah. If not, I've got javelins. I can always stick javelin head in.
I just want like to have somebody do like a pretty low strength check to see if you can pry something.
You know what? If nothing else, I've got the short sword, so just we'll assume I use some sort of metal thing on my person.
And if there's more than one of you working together, you can totally do it with advantage. I'm just looking for like low.
Well,
number.
if I can squeeze past Sprinkles, then yeah, I would definitely add my strength to it. There's
enough. You could crawl over Sprinkles. There's enough room, but you're gonna have like Yelena help you, like guide you.
Okay.
Because there's about 15, 20 feet from like where you are and where the crate is.
Right.
Like Simon Says Go kind of calling. Yelena, you're standing over there and you're like, come on, Terrell, come help me with this thing. And Terrell is just like blindly like, reaching her arms out like, yeah, keep talking. Where are you?
So do you want me to just roll? I don't have an advantage to strength. Just
athletics.
What if
Terrell have one?
I've got +4 to strength.
So how do we do this? Do we just each roll one?
It's an athletics check, and if you're both doing it, one of you can be like assisting the other, and so one person can roll with advantage, or both of you can roll normally, and make an athletics check.
Actually, I do have plus. Oh wow, I do have +6 to athletics.
I have +7, so we're both pretty good there.
No, we'll just roll each.
Oh, but I rolled a natural 1.
I was going to say Kai's got noodle arms, but I think he might have done better than that.
Yeah, I think he would have done.
But Terrell, because it's dark and you can't really see what the fuck you're doing, you try to pry something that isn't the lid. You're like hands on the stone beside you, like, why won't this thing move? But you're really interacting with the wall.
But at least you didn't give me splinters.
But that's okay. That's okay, because Yelena, you've managed, because you can see what you're doing, you managed to get your crowbar underneath the lid just so, and the lid just pops off, and you shove it aside, and as Sprinkles promised, a plethora of wood chipped based padding springs forth. But as you dig into, I'm assuming you dig in to see what's inside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Carefully.
You unveil an obsidian statue that's roughly, it looks very heavy. It is made completely out of, it seems to be solid obsidian, or if it's not solid, there's not a lot of hollow space there.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that our statue that we were supposed to come and get? Would I know that?
Do we know what the statue was?
The statue is supposed to be of Agharad.
Mm-hmm.
Angarad? Am I remembering the name of the person? Angarad. It's got gold filigree inlay, and it's a large nude figure.
Okay, so
with ruby eyes. It's not like any portrayal of Angarad that you are familiar with, Yelena. Mm-hmm. So you feel pretty confident that this is not the statue that you were supposed to pick up.
Interesting. It's down here, though.
You also notice on the exterior now at this point, once you've really kind of gotten your hands on the box and stuff, that in addition to the logo and branding, there is a scorch mark on one side of the box, just a small scorch mark. And there is a little bit of a crack in one of the bottom corners, like this crate had been carried but dropped suddenly. You can make another. I like what would a culture check be? Gee.
History.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Make a history check. Okay, that's
it's a statue.
A 6 is just not good enough. You're like, it's a statue. It's like of a naked lady. It's got gold and gems and stuff on it. It's pretty heavy.
I know nature stuff.
That's what you tell Terrell, and Sprinkle's just kind of like Gerhoo's. And Kai's in the back looking over Sprinkle's butt, being like,
all right, so I'm gonna
I don't know what Kai's doing. What's Kai doing at this point?
Kai's checking out his biceps, you know.
So what I can do is, what Yelena will do is just sort of, to make more room for everybody to come up, I'm just gonna clamber over this box, you know, maybe slide the lid back in place and get up over it. I don't know if I need to do a check for that.
No. You can do another athletics check, but it's just looking for natural ones here.
Are we leaving the statue behind, or?
I don't know how we can carry
it's
that.
a bit cumbersome, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if it's
dragging it with us, especially
nice.
Yelena, you're fine. Terrell, you run into the box.
Oh, God damn it! I fall over the box.
And as you trip over the box, you hear this sucking sound.
Uh-oh.
In fact, there's like a multitude of sucking sounds.
In front, behind.
Coming from above.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Everybody roll dexterity saving throws.
Hey.
Wow.
Everybody. Okay. So what happens is you manage to dodge out of the way. You hear this sucking sound. You guys are all kind of on edge. Even Terrell, you manage to trip out of the way and avoid this green slime dripping down from above and landing on you. But these patches of green slime plop down from above.
Are they doing anything other than being green slime?
They were trying to green slime you.
Okay.
And at this point, I will tell you that where they are, because they're kind of like bloppy there, and they're a little bit obstacle-y at this point, because one of them is behind Kai, so no one probably cares. Kai can just make faces and be like, whatever, green slime, just like home. There's another one in front of Sprinkles and Kai, as well as another one like pretty much on top of the box, like where Terrell was right before Terrell fell off the box. Can you see that now? And then the last one is in front of Yelena. So there's like 4 slimes in this hallway. One of them Kai can just run away from. But the other 3 are kind of like obstacles. They're just plops of slime that you have to acknowledge. They're there.
Oh, sorry, I was pressing the wrong button. They're not sentient like oozes then, they're just...
They don't seem to be moving quite like... Well, okay. Nature checks. Nature checks
Okay.
all around. Because this was enough that all of you recognized that something fell down. And... Jesus!
Sprinkles don't know.
Sprinkle doesn't.
Sprinkles doesn't know. Because she's baby. But the rest of you, you're like, oh man, green slime. For crying out loud. So you guys know that this stuff is pretty caustic. You know that it is... the DM is going to actually look up what this is. I don't know if it's explicitly an ooze. I mean, it's slime. But it's very acidic, very caustic. And it is sentient. But we're talking basic levels of sentience. Yelena, Yelena and Terrell, you both know that these things do not like light or fire.
Okay.
Oh.
They also don't like cold.
Kai.
Light them up.
But you know that you don't want to touch them.
I guess first thing I'll do is shout at Sprinkles and don't eat it.
As you watch, the slime that is landed on top of the crate seems to start to be eating through the lid. And it's starting to like slowly goop, like it's leaking inside the crate. So, given much more time, it's going to eat through the lid on the crate and then start working on that statue when it droops in.
Do we care about the statue? If it's not our statue.
Might be a finder's fee if we return it to
That's
the
true.
owner.
Can we just sort of flip the lid off? If it's stuck on the lid, can we just sort of do a flip to get it off of the box itself?
Terrell is the closest one to that lid.
Shoot.
And she could try to do it, but it would be with disadvantage because of her visibility impairment. But here again, a bit like an athletics check.
Okay, hang on.
Flip it over to land on the other one. 14 is enough. 14 is enough because it was a DC of 13. And so you flip the lid off, flip it over so that the lid lands on the other piece of slime. And you see that, like, okay, the slime is partially eaten through. So there's a little bit of glimmer for the moment where the slime is eating through. And here again, you've saved the contents of the crate from getting damaged by the slime, but that lid is going to be eaten through within 2 rounds. So I'm going to move this slime.
Okay,
so
do we want to...
it's basically like the entire path is blocked by piles of slime and wood.
They don't like fire.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can shout that to Kai.
Yeah.
Just say they don't like fire. Can you, blow them up?
But, I mean, I can, but which ones do I get first? I mean, there's one behind me, or
yeah. What we were saying, we can just leave that one. It's behind you. We can just walk away from it.
It doesn't seem to be moving like an ooze moves. It's much more still. Like you can see a little bit of wobble, a little glimmer, but it's not like actively oozing toward you.
All right. So if I jump onto Sprinkle's back and prepare to cast something or other.
Maybe not fireball with us being so close to it.
It's a bit.
Scorching ray? Do you have that?
Do.
I mean, I could grab a torch and light it.
That's why I was thinking for the one in front of me. I'm just gonna light a torch. I'm assuming I've got the stuff to do that.
I've got torch and tinderbox, so I'm guessing we could. Yeah.
You do have torches.
All right.
You would both have to crawl back over, just throw the torch, or crawl back over the open crate.
Do we have to throw it? I mean, I just sort of lean over and touch this dude?
Yeah, Yelena's talking about the one in front of her.
The one in front of you, yeah, that's
Yeah.
no problem. You can just touch it.
That's what I'll do.
So
Yeah, I was focused on the ones in front of Kai.
I could do burning hands, and that's in a cone, a 15-foot cone.
All right, so you don't have to touch it.
So Kai is like sitting on top, like kind of like mounted on top of Sprinkles right now.
Yeah.
Like she is your steed,
Yeah.
and you're gonna launch burning hands towards these green slime.
Yeah.
That's my owlbear. That's what I wanted to do with her.
She's a
I
trainer.
got there first. And I just need to remember how to do a target thing.
Both mouse clickies, and I think it's control maybe for a triangle. No, it's not control. It is alt key. So both mouse buttons and your left alt key, you can draw cones.
Yeah, I've got one.
Is it a 15-foot cone?
Yeah, 15 foot.
Like that?
There you go.
Yeah.
So easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah, I was pushing the wrong alt key.
What is Rach doing?
Rach doesn't know left from a right. There we go.
I've got it.
Are you trying to target the things?
Yeah, trying to target the things. So
Because at this point you could just drag your attack things to both of them individually at this point.
Oh, okay. Did that do anything?
I
didn't
see
see
anything
you.
happen.
Oh!
Nice.
I mean, I'd say with a natural 20, just like as it hits the one slime, the fire burns so brightly upon this one green slime that the one next to it underneath the board ignites. And it's like a twofer.
Do I need to do the damage?
No, you don't need to do the damage. 1 damage is all it took to incinerate that green slime.
Excellent.
Kai, further demonstrating the cleansing power of fire. So those slimes are dusted.
So those slimes are done, are they?
Yep.
Coolio. I'll get off Sprinkles now.
And there's like this scorched piece of wood, a little extra scorching on the box, the crate that contains the statue, and some of the cedar shavings got a little toasty and they're singed to black, but the statue seems okay. And Kai, you peer into it. Kai, I don't know if you did like a history check before, but you can do one now.
Okay. Oh no, Kai, not me.
It's a statue, but you are attracted to the ruby eyes.
Naturally, shiny.
How big is it? Did you say?
It is about it is actual life size.
Oh, okay. I won't offer to carry it then.
Yeah, like it looks like the full statue is pretty heavy. But
So that has, oh god, there has to be a lot of people. If that got here.
Yeah, you would imagine there's need a few people to carry it.
Like,
yeah.
Terrell, you nudge the box, and you're like thinking between the crate and the statue, because the crate's made of wood, and that would weigh a bunch by itself. That's at least 20-30 pound right there. And then the statue, you're like, this whole thing was at least 100 pounds to drag, move around. So it would take 2 or 3 people maybe to cart around through the tunnels.
Right.
Maybe more. But yeah, it's a statue. The ruby eyes look nice.
Okay.
From your general history of things, Kai, you think, yeah, it's kind of fancy that. It's probably worth something.
Mm-hmm. So we'll come back for it.
No,
Yeah, I guess-
nothing else drops on it.
That's right. Hopefully.
All right. So, you're torching the other green slime in front of you?
Yep.
Okay. So it's like you use up one of your torches, and so take that out of your inventory, but it's no problem to light a torch, hold it up to the green slime, and it burns right away.
All right. Is it still? Do we still have some torch left from burning that, or is it?
You have torch left, so Terrell can now see.
Yeah. I'll hand that to Terrell.
See better
Cheers.
around her. I'm not sure how long torches last specifically, but I think it gives you about 20 feet of light visibility. And Kai and Sprinkles need to roll athletics checks to see if they can clamber over this box, this crate.
Hang on, athletics is strength.
So Kai, a 12 is good enough.
Oh.
Yeah,
yay.
both of you. It's a little bit awkward, but you scramble over without indignity. Now, once you get to you've reached
The gap.
You've reached what seems to be a detention tank with a broken bridge.
Well, I know I can get across with Misty's
Yeah.
help.
And me, but I'm not sure how Sprinkles is going to get
Yeah,
across.
exactly.
How can you get across?
We've got Misty Step.
Oh, damn.
I'm adjusting the map, revealing a little bit more.
Can yeah, I was about to say, can I perceive a little bit more? Is there anything over there that'll help us?
And I'm
on
going
the
to
other
tell you,
side?
I have a little bit more to tell you, and then I think we're going to do our little game break, our little adventurous break.
Mm-hmm.
Once I adjust a couple things. Okay, so
That doesn't look good.
this is me hoping I made the right things visible.
There is a skeleton.
Yep.
There's another skeleton.
Okay. So they aren't skeletons. They're basically fresh bodies. So you approach, and Yelena, you get the best visage of this. You see that there seems to be from the east is a steady flow of what seems to be fairly clean water coming from the east. The bridge, the metal bridge that ran across this detention tank chamber, has broken and fallen down below. There is a body floating in the water, face down. You see brown hair, lank in the murky water, just kind of floating there. And that detention tank, the drop is fairly significant. It seems like there is water actively draining out of this detention tank. The full depth of it is about 60 feet down to the surface of the water. Maybe 65. The full stretch to the south, it's a 20-foot gap. So it's like this reservoir is 20 feet by 20 feet. The diagonal to jump where the water is rushing from the east, it would take at least a 15-foot jump, but you would be hampered doing a running jump that direction because of the way the tunnel is aligned. Basically the walls would block you from getting much of a running start to that jump. To the south, that body that seems to be just kind of splayed out in the tunnel, really all you can see is just boots of a prone form, lower legs sticking out from around the corner. But it's a body, doesn't seem to be moving. There are some blood stains on the stones. And that's where we'll break for little adventurers time.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm back in a bit.
Back
about
in
10
5. All right.
5 to 10 minutes, or when everybody gets back here.
Work out how to get an owlbear over a gap.
Yep.
Work out how to get rooted open.
Rach says work out how to get Kai over a gap. I've got an idea for that. I'm just going to chuck you. All right, back in 10.
Well, if you're all back and you're physically, if not emotionally prepared, we shall resume. And there's just enough room, Yelena, Terrell, you guys can stand side by side. There's just enough room for 2 non-owlbear people.
Okay.
To stand and peer down.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Misty Step, could we take an end of a rope with us? Or is it just yourself?
I think it's just yourself. Let me look at the spell.
No, I could probably tie a rope to an arrow and shoot the arrow across if there's something to shoot it into.
Well, I was going to say, if one of us Misty Steps across with the rope and ties it to that bridge, part of the bridge that's left.
The thing, basically, this is weird. That's like a philosophical question. Under normal circumstances, everything that is on you would teleport with you.
Yeah.
But if you tied it off to something, I'm not quite sure how that works.
I mean, if not, one of us Misty Steps and the other chucks the rope across, or like you say, you do the arrow.
I'm going to say one or the other with Misty Step. You're either going to take the rope completely with you, and it's not going to be attached to anything, or it's going to be left completely behind. But
right.
Yeah, you could shoot something.
So the options to getting Kai across, as I see it, are either he's carried across by one of us, going hand over hand on the rope, or because I can't see him doing a running jump across that. Or we fashion some kind of harness and he pulleys himself across.
How about everybody do some kind of do a perception check, including Kai. You can't perceive very much being in the second line, so it's gonna be harder for you. It doesn't look like Kai's really interested anyhow. But Sprinkles does have advantage doing her little sniff check.
Okay, hang on. Perception is wisdom, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay, 16 for her.
Yeah.
All right. This is the tail end. Animal. Speak with animals. That's 10 minutes, right? How long is that?
Yeah.
So just at the tail end, you're just reaching the end of your speak with animals spell, and Sprinkles volunteers that I can totally smell Belladonna was at the south. She's been that way, but I can't really tell about all the water stuff. The east, I don't know. The vat, I don't know, because it's all wet. And then she starts hooting again.
Okay. I mean, I know she was investigating the sewer system, but I can't see her going into a tank like that.
I'm just wondering if she managed to get across and then that's somebody destroyed the bridge behind her. If somebody's grabbed her.
Both Terrell and Yelena, you can tell that in addition to the body floating face down in the water, there seems to be another crate that has fallen, and the pieces of which are now floating in the water.
Okay.
About the same size of the one that you climbed over in the tunnel.
Floating in
Yelena,
the water.
yeah, like it's fallen into the water with, and it's on top of the bridge.
Right.
Or they went across with something too heavy.
Yelena, you can also make out that there is a valve under the water. Beneath where the waterfall is, you managed to pick that out, that you see signs of a valve.
So is the water beneath us filling up?
There is a drain currently open, so it is draining. The water that is pouring into this detention tank is draining away because whatever needs to be open has been opened to drain the water out.
So potentially, if we shut that valve, it could stop it from draining away.
And we fill it up and enjoy, swim across.
Yeah, but then we're going to have to reopen it, otherwise the whole thing's going to flood.
Right. That seems like a pain.
And also, like you were saying, if they've carried that box over and that's what's broken the bridge because it's too heavy, so now do we have to consider the fact that someone's stealing from that store because the owner's away?
Mm-hmm. Could be that. Okay, so Misty Step. So could one of us carry Kai piggyback in the Misty Step?
Misty Step
No.
is a single person.
Alas. But
It's
technically carrying something.
It's not like Dimension Door.
Alas.
All right, so I think if one of us Misty steps across,
I'm wondering if there's something on the other side that we could use.
I think we could just tie it to the end of the bridge that's sticking out. Maybe. I suppose it depends on how damaged it is. Yeah.
You can do an investigation check of the. I always get these confused. No, do an insight check on the bridge. Terrell, you don't really have any kind of. You think it's a pretty good idea to fasten ropes to the bridge and use that to make your way across. But Yelena, you see signs that this is not a very new bridge, that there's wear and tear, and you think there's some metal fatigue, and that contributed to it collapsing under the weight of too many people and heavy objects.
All right. So, am I going to be the best one to Misty step across to have the rope tied to me and secure it at that side then, if there's nothing else there? And we can tie the other end to Sprinkles, and Kai can use that to shimmy across. And then you can Misty step over.
Like, the Misty step isn't going to bring it's either going to bring the rope entirely with you, or it's going to leave the rope entirely behind.
Sorry, I'm saying if I Misty step across, Yelena chucks one end of the rope to me when I'm across, or fires it across tied to an arrow. Mm-hmm. And then I tie that end around me.
You catch the arrow?
No, I let it go past and catch the rope once it drops. I don't want to catch the arrow.
You're not a monk anymore.
No, definitely not.
That's one solution. You can just take it for the teeth.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if it's stuck in me, it ain't going anywhere.
Got armor on.
But yeah, I'm just thinking Kai won't be that heavy. So if we tie one end to me and the other end to Sprinkles, then can we hold the rope tight enough for Kai to get across using the rope?
So is the idea that Sprinkles is going to stay behind?
Well, I was thinking she could do a running jump. But I don't know what's the speed. How's that work?
Did I make a note about jumping? Yes, I did. Your strength determines how far you can jump. A long jump. You can cover a distance equal to your strength. Given I did a typo there. Thank you. Given a 10-foot running start, a standing jump traverses half this distance. Either way, each foot you clear during this jump counts towards your movement if you are in initiative. So,
she's got a strength of 18.
So she's a little bit short of running 18. jumping 20 feet.
But if we have the rope tied across, over, blah, 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 blah. If we have the rope tied around her after Kai and Yelena is across and she does the running jump and we all haul on the rope at the same time, will that get her the extra couple of foot?
Maybe you can try.
Or is it going to be safer to just leave her behind? I don't want to leave her behind.
There will be a check involved if you have her do a running jump to try to get over, since she's going to need some extra factors to give her that last little boost. Because either she's going to have to wait to jump the very last second on that little prominence of bridge that is still in place, or your tugging is going to have to give her that little extra boost to help her all the way across. So there is going to be an athletics check for her to see that she can successfully do it in addition to the jump.
Right. I'm just wondering whether to cast Bless because that's saving throws rather than a check.
So those at the far right to the east, there are those two columns. How far down are those? What I'm assuming are walls that are the walls on the either side of the water that's rushing in.
It's just concrete, like stone wall.
Is there a top to it that we can jump on, or is that meant to go all the way to the ceiling?
Oh, that is actually the floor, like on either side of the channel where the water is rushing in. That is channel with a surface very much like what you are now, but you should consider it to be rough terrain because of the amount of water and the force with which the water is pouring over. It's kind of like rapids, like you'd be jumping into rapids by going that way, but it's only 15 feet jump to get there.
But like you say, you wouldn't have the running start from there.
You would not have the running start, which you cannot. You can only jump like half the distance.
All right, I'm up for any other suggestions. Have you got any spells that might help?
Fireball.
No.
The only other thing I can think of is as one of us with Misty Step goes across and looks around the corner and sees if there's anything over there that could be used to help.
Well, that's an option.
So, Terrell,
you'd be better.
Do you want me to go across?
Well, you'd be better for the sneaky side of things.
Yeah.
But then if there's nothing there that will help, you're gonna have to secure the rope on that side. Right.
Which we could do. And I'll be shooting the arrow up towards all three of you.
Yeah, so one of us will catch it.
I feel like we should be looking around the corner to see if there's something.
All right, go on then.
All right, so I'm going to cast Misty Step.
Okay. Which direction are you going?
I'm going across the gap to go on the other side.
Which direction?
That's south.
Okay, so you're going south. So position yourself accordingly, like boop. All right. So you reach the corner. You see the prone figure with boots on, sticking out around the corner. But you can only see like the lower part of their legs from straight on, and you have to like go around the corner to inspect the body.
Okay, I'm going to carefully inspect the body.
You turn the body over. It's no one you recognize.
Phew.
It is a human form, and Yelena, you find that they are wearing. Wait, let me double check something. Before I tell you lies. Maybe I did not make a note about it. I don't know.
Flying boots?
No, they're coming really handy.
They are not boots flying. Yeah, those are Vac and Roosevelt on the little kid.
Damn it.
Of course I didn't make a note about this. So I'm going to tell you stuff, and I'm hoping that it's what my original intentions were. When you turn the body over, you see that they are wearing a mask of the Black Earth cult. It is a humanoid form.
So do we have those masks on us, or are they the same masks? All right.
They seem to be same kind of like low-grade tin mask. Otherwise, they're wearing dark clothing that you would associate with shady types. Or Kai.
Any of us.
Rude.
All right, so I make a note of that. I want to sort of carefully peek around the corner.
You peek
To
around the
see.
corner.
The west. More bodies.
You see 2 more bodies. These appear to be dead goblins.
I do a little sign language to say to goblins. I don't know what the sign for goblins would be. And indicate that they're dead.
Like a finger across the throat.
Finger across the throat.
Then hand low down to shot people. So we're like, there's 2 dead halflings over here.
You can do, I mean, if you're inspecting the bodies, or you're just noticing that they're there.
I notice that they're there. Do I hear anything around the corner?
Do a perception check.
Oh.
I was literally sitting here. This is the power of my brain. I'm sitting here concentrating, thinking, do not roll a 20. Do not roll a 20. Do not roll a 20. The sad truth is, you do not hear the sounds of anything alive. Any signs of movement, any talking. You hear the overwhelming Moonshine Cherry. The
And there we go.
overwhelming roar of the passage of water from the other tunnel is kind of drowning out any sound. But you feel pretty confident that you're not picking out any immediate movement other than that of your companions. What you do also hear is a little bit of rush of wind and a little shower of maybe rock.
Okay.
Like
Rush of wind and Is there been a hole punched someplace?
yeah,
in the
yeah.
in the roof?
You feel like it's the sound of a hole, and just the general sounds surrounding stuff like the passage of air through a hole because it's a little bit of whistly. And it's like not controlled for ventilation, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And perhaps like a little bit of the tumble of rubble.
So do I think it's
Surrounding
coming
a
from the ceiling?
As you peer down the hallway, you think it's actually in the floor.
No, that's not good. I don't like that.
Because you
All right.
see in the channel in this next room, it appears to be another one of those chambers like you've been passing through, but this one seems to be dry and empty. And you see a little bit of rubble, but you haven't been able to see a hole. But you do see a little bit of pile of just stone rubble in the channel of one of those type of rooms that you've traversed twice already.
Okay, I'm going to peek around the corner. Looking at the ground very carefully, making sure it's not going to give way under me.
I mean, that's what you see around the corner, but as you move forward,
Mm-hmm.
it gives you the view of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to reveal that room gradually.
Do I see a big wooden plank we can shove across? That would be really convenient
That's
right now.
a good one, yeah. Have we passed a room with a big wooden plank?
There could have been a wooden plank in some of the garbage that you've passed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an idea.
That's a hole. I mean, I know I can't see that, obviously,
So you
but
see that there is a hole in the center of this room. And the hole seems to be where maybe there was a great outlet at one point. There is no running water in this room. There's like a slight little bit of damp like along the base of the channel, but no valves have been turned to make water flow into this room. And you see that there's a little flight of stairs leading upward towards the south of the room up to a platform, and that there is a little tunnel leading off this room to the south. You also see that there's a tunnel leading off of this room to the northwest. And of course, there is the hole.
And a hole.
Sprinkles will not fill it down there.
Nope.
Yeah, the hole is about 5 by 5. I mean, it's possible. It is about the size. I would say it's about the size of the sewer access grate, the manhole cover that you entered the sewers through. So it would take some pushing, and you'd probably have to do another harness up on her and push her booty through the hole.
Does it seem like there's any evidence anybody has gone down that hole?
I'm sitting here dying because I'm like, I need to tell you, do you want to inspect the hole?
The hole. I think I will inspect.
Would you like to investigate the hole?
Investigate the hole. I'll just sneak up to the hole here.
Oh dear.
So I look in the hole.
I'm not going to make you roll this point because I don't want to eat more cherry. No. From what you gather, you feel like this hole is something that is not recent per se. It is something that has worn over time and tide. The stone here has gradually weathered or worn thin. And you peek down, because you have dark vision, you can see that there seems to be some chamber below. You wouldn't say it is a sewer-related chamber. There seems to be a fountain with running water in it below you.
Oh boy.
And you see there are some signs they can make out of some mining equipment, like pickaxes and a wheelbarrow, that have been just left lying a ways away from the fountain. You also see another body.
Do I see how these people have died? Are there wounds? Obvious
Do a medicine
wounds?
check. Mother, may I sleep with danger? Do a medicine check. Don't roll 20.
Put the moonshine cherries away. You'll be safe.
They're dead, Jim.
They're dead. Really? There's no obviously. I mean, seriously, no outside, nothing. No obviously bashed in heads. Just mysteriously laying there dead. It's a little scary. Okay. Do I see any footprints going anywhere down these halls, like towards these halls? Since there's nothing, we've walked through all this wet, which means other people have walked through this wet. I'm going to say if I don't see footprints going either to that hall to the north of me or to the stairwell to the south of me, that maybe we're needing to go down this hole. If that made sense. So should I do a perception check to look for footprints?
Did we lose Bonnie?
Are you there, Bonnie?
Maybe that cherry was just one too
I
many.
know, she just passed out.
Okay.
Hello?
Oh gosh.
I did accidentally mute myself.
That's always fun.
I'm getting worried then.
I was like, what am I saying wrong?
It's like, we can't go check on her. She's in a different country.
I don't know how. Am I still like loud?
I can hear you just fine.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm accidentally hitting buttons because I'm like leaning. I'm leaning towards the map, trying to remember where things are. I told you to roll a survival check.
Okay,
Right.
I'll
For
roll.
this-
No,
for
I
this-
have not
yeah.
yet.
For this tracking business.
Not
Okay.
bad.
With an 18, you can see that there are signs of movement in here, more than just 3 people.
Do I see where it's gone? Does it look like it's gone towards a particular direction?
You can see there are some steps around the vicinity of this hole.
Uh-huh.
but there are also footsteps leading toward the way from whence you came.
Mm-hmm.
And there are not footsteps. I don't think they're footsteps. There are not footsteps leading directly up the stairs.
So none that way. And there's none north of me going towards that hallway up north?
Let's say there are some going that way.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait, there aren't any going that way.
Okay. Alrighty.
There are some around the hole, though.
The hole it is.
And there are some leading back the way you came.
Which could be the bodies that we spotted, because we don't know which way they were going, do we?
We don't.
Although it would suggest...
You will note that the number of footprints around the hole do not equate the number in the hallway from whence you came.
Yeah. So the other people have gone down, so to speak, on the hole. All right. So I'm gonna go back around the corner. Yeah. And I'm gonna. I guess I can sort of converse across the gap here sufficiently without drawing too much attention. Do I have to yell?
You can kind of yell. You have to yell over the water a certain degree, which makes you think that, oh yeah, like maybe when I heard the sounds of voices and shouting from a distance away, because you were a good 120, 200 feet away at that point in time, it's probably why you could pick them out, even though you can understand what they were saying. Is at that point there were people trying to get across this, shouting at each other. And you still notice there is a body floating face down in the water down below you.
All right, we don't recognize that body. It doesn't look like a.
It's face down. It is wearing leather.
Did we know anybody wearing leather?
And it has.
Are we all
hair.
wearing leather? We're all wearing leather. All right. I'm feeling like Sprinkles needs to stay behind. I think this is going to be too hard.
Okay.
So that means we could probably get Kai across with a rope.
Yeah.
But it's just like, what do we need to do to make Sprinkles safe? Just can she sit tight where she is? Are there any more of those green slime things?
Well, there's the one left behind the other end of the hall.
Oh, God.
And they did drop from above.
Can you guys look up to see if there's any more of the green slimies?
Is my torch still lit?
Yeah, your torch is still lit.
Then I wave it around above my head to see if I can see any more slimes.
You sizzle a couple slimes. If you stretch out your arm and you like wave it overhead, there's a couple like little popping sounds as you walk about 15 feet down the tunnel. So there seems to be a lot of slime above head in this tunnel.
I mean, the idea of like going back into that other room and seeing if there's anything in that garbage pile that could be used to jerry the bridge. I mean, you got to maneuver around the steam jets, but
we could try that.
Yeah, we could try that. I think it's worth it before we leave her behind completely.
Right.
I dash back to this. Well, crawl over.
Crawl and then dash.
Yeah, and then dash back here to see if I can find anything that we can use.
Okay. So you reach the point where the steam...
Yeah, which is why I stopped.
Do insight checks to see if you can perceive like any threat from the steam at this point.
No, I see nothing.
Go for it.
Terrell, there's no threat as far as you're concerned.
Oh, good.
Perfectly safe, Kai. It's absolutely safe.
Screwed.
God.
So both of you think it's perfectly safe. So go in the room and check the trash.
I root around in the trash.
And there's no steam jets to go off. But now you're in the trash. A stench overwhelms you again of the nasty gnarly. So do a Constitution saving throw.
I feel so bad. Sorry, guys.
Not your fault. You're the only one who can actually do anything. Oh no.
Hey.
Kai, you're fine. This smells like the Underdark. But Terrell, you are hit by a wave of sickness. And you start to retch.
Lovely.
And you now have 1 level of the sickened condition.
Okay.
Did I actually apply that to you successfully? I'm looking with my eyeballs. Yes. So theoretically, what the sickened condition is going to do to you is you're -1 on your check saves and damage rolls.
But I've been doing so well with them so far.
I hastily coded that. Don't know if it works. Didn't test it. So we shall see. But for right now, you seem to be sickened at a minor level. Just kind of like nauseated, wanting to puke, clutching your stomach. The smell is just gagging. But you're digging through the trash. And I'll say, for brevity's sake at this point, that you do find some wooden planks.
Ooh.
A couple. Now, none that are completely like 30 feet long. But you do find multiple that are 10 feet long. That could somehow be like attached to each other and used as a guide to get across. You also find some metal poles.
Could
that
you
can
do
be used as reinforcement.
a rope bridge? Like 2 pieces of rope on either side, and then put the planks on the rope.
Yeah, you think you found supplies where you think you could probably engineer something together. It might be a little bit tricky, but you think, you have supplies here where you could make a new bridge.
Yeah. Right. Well, let's try that then.
Grab it all and
Get out of the smell.
The tricky part now
is how do we get 2 ropes across?
The tricky thing now, so you carry things out of the room. Now, once you get to that first corner, it's like you got to pivot.
pivot
To get around the corner.
Oh god.
So there's a bit of like a comedy of errors as you like try to like adjust the pipes and the boards and stuff and get them completely around. Kai, you have to like sizzle some green slime with a firebolt, that kind of stuff. But it all works out.
Yep.
And so you're coming down the tunnel. Now you have to like kind of slide it over Sprinkles back and get it past her. She's doing the pee-pee dance. Maybe it's just excitement. Maybe she actually has to pee.
Well, it won't make any difference in here. Just do it.
You're in the sewer.
Pee.
Now's the time. And you start fashioning together this bridge.
Okay. So,
now, well, if we're fashioning, how are we getting it to the other side? Do I need to shoot a rope across to them?
Well, Yelena, you'll only have 1 rope, won't you? And we'll have multiple ropes on our side.
Do either of you have a strength? I mean, Terrell, probably you have the strength to be able to throw it across to get to me.
well, as long as I don't retch at the same time as doing it, but
Yeah.
potentially I've got the strength to do it. Yeah.
I'm gonna have
noodle strings.
I'm gonna have Kai make
Javelin.
I'm gonna have Kai make an Arcana check at this point to see if he can use any of his alchemy knowledge to make this process more efficient.
Oh
No!
Oh, okay.
I'll teach you.
So that's great. That's great. I was really hoping Kai would be especially useful. And he is. He has this proper brilliant just brain fart. Moonshine cherries. That's so delicious. Kai realizes that, hey, I know some alchemy shit. So he pulls out his alchemist supplies and he does this like little makeshift like concocting. And he puts together some like really good glue.
Awesome.
And he's like, okay, we can use this to reinforce these pieces together. Like, we got rope, we've got planks, we've got metal poles to all reinforce. but we can use this glue to like I'm making myself laugh. To hot glue it together. And he also pulls out like some alchemist tape, which is actually duct tape, and starts like kind of banding the pieces together. So on your side of things, with that nat 20, you can like totally piece together a plank that's a good 30 feet long and about 5
Brilliant.
feet wide.
Awesome.
And it's strong enough for a heavy owlbear to walk across as well, is it?
With the glue and with your alchemist tape, you feel like now you wouldn't want to like have anything more than the owlbear, and you wouldn't want to have anything more than like Terrell and her full armored self.
One at a time.
To be honest, so it's like a one at a time thing for confidence sake. But you feel like, say, you and Yelena, both of you not being like overly large or bulky. I mean, Kai pretty much weighing the same as a wet paper towel. Both of you could be on this at the same time. But like Terrell and Sprinkles would have to go one at a time.
Well, I can Misty Step across. So if I go last and secure this side, if Kai goes over first, then Sprinkles, and then I'll just Misty Step afterwards. And then
So you guys should be able to slide it across to me, and then I can sort of secure it on this end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to double check just how much I've just told you the weight limit is. So we're going to say 400 pounds. I think 400 pounds will cover all's y'all's. What I just told you that the weight it'll carry. Well, yeah, 400 pounds is what you estimate the weight limit of this bridge that you've put together using skills and alchemy.
Fabulous.
So you slide it over the openings. There is now a makeshift plank bridge traveling from north to south across this detention tank.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to test it?
I'll go first. Kai will go first.
Describe how Kai crosses this bridge when he comes to it.
I have an image in my head.
Getting on all fours, crawling across.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was picturing on tippy toes.
Well, yeah, I was thinking tippy toes at first, but then, balance. It's like there's no arm rails, is there? So yeah, maybe hands and knees would be safest.
See, I think that's what the rope was going to be for. Was like the guardrails. But you have to get to Yelena to get the rope if you want to put it on the guardrails.
Yeah, I'll go down on hands and knees and crawl slowly.
No problem.
It sways a bit.
It's actually, other than the fact that it's only 5 feet wide, and that there are no guardrails, you feel like it's really secure considering that this is like a 20-foot wide dealio. And there's only like that 5-foot overhang on either side. It's surprisingly stable and non-bendy in the middle for your particular weight, Kai.
Yeah. Okie doke.
So you peer down. You're like, hello, dead body. Hello, crate in the staggering drop. Hello, murky water.
Do I notice anything while I'm hovering? Anything that nobody else has noticed?
You notice, let's do a perception check. Okay, you think you see the glint of some money down in the bottom, like coins to the bottom of a fountain.
Yeah, not worth dropping down to go get it.
You think you maybe see a pouch.
Okay, yeah, I'll carry on going.
You can't, as far as you can tell, you can't tell who the dead body is. You can't tell that it is not someone you know, but you can tell it's not a dwarf. It is a human. But the features and what the leathers they're wearing are not indistinguishable from what you saw Belafana wearing earlier in the tavern.
Okay.
But you're across the bridge.
I am across the bridge safely.
So Terrell, Sprinkles, what are you doing?
I tell Sprinkles to belt across the bridge. No, she probably shouldn't belt across. I just push her onto the bridge and tell her, well, would she understand me when we're going to have to do speak with animals?
She'll understand you, basically. Just don't use any, like, complicated concepts.
All right.
But if you're like, careful, walk slowly, she'll get that.
Okay, then I'll do that. Tell her to make her way across slowly and carefully.
So she moves very slowly. Do a, for Sprinkles, do a acrobatics check.
That's Dex.
Just to test her balance.
Come on, Sprinkles. Oh, thank you for that.
But the dirty 20, she minds what she's doing. She doesn't get overly excited. She doesn't give to the temptation to do a pee-pee dance. And she makes it to the other side. Okay, cool, you moved her. I was getting ready to move her, but like...
I'm
yeah.
past these
So
guys.
now she's in the corner and she sees the dead goblins on the floor and she runs forward and starts chewing on one of them.
I can't do all about that.
Sprinkles chewing on the dead goblins.
It's nature.
Nature is healing.
It's a circle of life.
So it's all you, Terrell.
I will Misty step across. Bump.
Okay, not even using the bridge. Misty step across.
Yeah. Are we just going to leave the bridge there, or do we want to pull it across?
Good question.
Well, we could pull it across then. You know, if any other baddies do come in, they can't. Well, we don't make it easy for them, do we?
I guess maybe if we want like a quick escape.
Well, we can Misty step across. Somebody misses steps across, and we'll slide it back over or something.
Okay. All right, then. Yeah, we just pull it off the gap.
You also make a note that when that bridge is out there, it covers 5 feet. If you tried to jump from that bridge to the east, it would be about a 7-foot jump.
So we would be able to get over there quite easily.
Yeah, I think for most of you that would be doable from a standing jump.
Okay. All right. Good to know in case we need to go that way for somewhere.
Kai, I think, is the only one who's iffy. Like, what's your strength, Kai?
9.
Yeah,
Noodle
Kai,
strength.
it might be a little bit tricky to jump that distance. But I would say, like, even Yelena running from, like, the opposite side, just a little hop from the opposite side of the board, Yelena, you can make it. But it's a little bit shy from Kai, so he might need, like, water wings or a little rope tied around his waist just in case he fumbles it. But Terrell and Sprinkles, you would be able to hop that distance, no problem. From this bridge, if it was like straddling.
Okay.
If you ever wanted to go to the east, you figure out that much.
So, we're all over on this side.
So dead bodies, dead goblins, dead cultists, and a hole.
And a hole. And what did he say was down the hole? He said it was like a fountain or something.
There's a fountain. It seems to have running, like, some water in it. The water is very blue. It doesn't seem to be stagnant. There is a dripping sound of like some movement in the water. And you see some mining equipment and another dead body off to the side of that fountain. The fountain is in what looks to be a chamber, like ruins, not sewer tunnels.
Right. And did the 2 goblin bodies that we've just passed, did they have masks as well?
The goblins didn't have masks, just the humanoid had a mask.
Right. I mean, you see, it's gone away from Lady Belafana and the monster now, and more about the cult, isn't it? I mean, do we think they've come up, or they've dug that hole to get back down?
Or is it their hideout down there?
Yeah. Do we want to leave Sprinkles here as a guard?
Because I don't know how we would get her out. We could send her down, probably.
Yeah, but if we have to come...
What's the drop distance again?
It's a 30-foot drop into the chamber below.
So we should be able to tie rope to that pipe there and shimmy down, theoretically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe Sprinkles as a guard up here might be a good idea.
Right, okay.
It's not, at least it doesn't seem too awful in here, and there's no slimes, right? We look around the ceiling, no slimes.
You look around the ceiling in this room with your dark vision and with the torch. Now, in this chamber, it is like more open, and there is a higher ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And it also seems like this is starting to maybe go up from this point on. Like outlets from this room are a little bit higher than things coming into from where you came.
So back to the surface.
This is me badly trying to explain that everything is kind of slanted downwards towards that water detention tank that you just came from. And that as you move away from that water detention tank, you're probably getting higher, closer to the street level.
Okay, good to know. At least that, assuming we survive going in the hole, we can come out. We don't have to go backtrack that way, which is kind of nice. Unless we want to go get that statue.
Well, I guess we worry about that when we get back out.
Have more friends that can help us carry that thing. Because I don't think that statue wouldn't have made it across that bridge, would it?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
It does suggest that might be the reason, like you said. That's why the bridge broke. They were trying to carry something over too heavy.
And you've seen... Okay, now there's 3 dead people that you found. No, 4 dead people total, I mean, technically. But they're at least enough to carry 2 crates of the size you found in the tunnel.
Okay, I'll also say, but I couldn't figure out why they're dead. Can somebody else inspect to figure out maybe what's killed these people? Because there's no obvious...
Medicine checks?
Yeah. Yep, I can do a medicine check.
Maybe we need to be worried about something?
No, I can't do a medicine check. For fuck's sake.
Kai!
Kai! Kai, you've had to do a lot of study with your uncle and in general about like how to kill people. And it's kind of...
It's always a valuable skill.
It's a family tradition. It's your namesake. And you from looking at these bodies, you can tell, like, you know, if you had murdered them, you probably, someone used pointy, like, short swords on them. There's also signs of whip lashings. And one of them has a big bump on their noggin as if from a sling bullet.
That is hilarious. So that wasn't obvious to me.
Yep.
I don't remember. I don't even
short,
remember.
pointy things, but you've got no idea.
I think. I mean, I think I told you like that there was like bludgeoning and something.
Okay, or something, yeah.
But not like the specific weapons, you know.
Okay.
So there's a little bit more CSI that Kai has figured out.
I just didn't know if they were just sort of mysteriously dead from poison or something, like with no obvious outside.
You were like, well, like they're dead. They were stabbed. There's blood.
Okay, good enough.
It's like the time I just remember the time I said they were strangled until they bled in the Saltmarsh campaign.
I mean, that was
classic.
That was amazing.
Oh man.
Right, so stabbing, bludgeoning, so they've been attacked, but we don't know by who or what.
Potentially the who or what's gone down that hole.
Yeah. All right then. I'll look at Sprinkles and go, stay.
We're going down the hole, yeah?
Yeah.
Are we going down a rope?
Yeah, I think what we can do is, can we tie a rope to that pipe there?
Yeah, easy peasy. Tie a rope to the pipe.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think jumping down is a good idea if it's safe.
No.
It's like almost like the pipe was just perfectly situated for going down a hole.
Convenient.
Is there? I guess there's no rope conveniently still there.
There is no rope conveniently still there.
Alrighty. Rope
Actually,
down.
I take that back. I'm going to say there is a rope conveniently still there. Because you see a dead body below, so they got in somehow.
So
Alright.
that suggests that, yeah.
Someone's been using that. Okay. Let's follow them.
Okay. So everybody climbs down the rope. I'm going to make you do another check just because I don't know any better. To do an athletics check for the climb. It's really low.
Dirty 20.
Wow.
That's fine. I was just looking for a natural one.
Oh.
So you all manage to climb down below. You're leaving Sprinkles up top to keep watch.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
that correct? Okay.
I put her on guard.
Alrighty. I'm going to move you to another map and then share it. Sharing now. Alright. So you descend into... I didn't put the dead body on this map, but just assume that the dead person is near the fountain.
Is it a goblin or
It is a
person?
dwarf.
Dwarf? Oh
but,
dear.
But not a dwarf you recognize.
Okay.
Okay. Are they wearing a mask?
They are not wearing a mask.
Okay.
No, obviously signifying allegiance kind of gear is obviously apparent on this.
Can we see how they
this dead
died?
body. Do a medicine check.
Okay. Oh, God. You think with a plus? Oh, there we go. Much better.
You can tell. You look them over, and it's weird at first because you don't see any obvious signs of weapons. Like no whip marks, no stabbing like up the people died up above. You do see signs of bludgeoning, like blunt force trauma.
As if they fell.
And you realize that they also seem to have drowned. There's water in the lungs.
Okay. As if they fell into the fountain or drowned. Okay.
Now the body wasn't directly in the fountain. It was kind of like it was closer to the wall, like to the north, close to the fountain, but like not right, like not slumped into the fountain water. Like it would be obvious that their head was underwater or anything like that. They were kind of just, the body was collapsed on the ground closer to the wall.
Right. But, I mean, if they'd fallen into the fountain and drowned, someone could potentially have pulled them out. I could be overthinking this. Okay. Alright, never mind.
Just explore ahead.
If you explore the tunnel to the southwest, you see that there is this equipment that seems to be for mining. But there is a tunnel. There's a cave-in where there's rubble completely blocking the tunnel at the end of it. And you see signs that someone has been working here to try to tunnel out what might be beyond. This room, I said before that it does not seem to be part of the sewers proper. It does seem to have some age on it. Between the columns and the relief etched in mosaics etched into the walls, you do think that this is a remnant of an older civilization, an older culture, the one that was in this area prior to the settling of Secomber. I think I've given you the name before. I don't have it right in front of me, so it's something like Adamvadar or something like that. That these, and you remember hearing that the sewers of Secomber were adapted from ruins of a older civilization. So this seems to be a partially excavated chamber.
Right. Okay.
But there looks like there's something to the immediate south that maybe isn't blocked.
To the south,
Mm-hmm.
you see that is also subject to a cave-in.
Oh dear.
It's a flight of stairs leading downward. And after the first 2-3 steps, there is just rubble and stone.
So both exits are blocked. There's no way we can sort of like wiggle through or anything like that.
No way to wriggle through. There's just the fountain.
Right, can we inspect the fountain?
Fountain, exactly. Little special pushy buttons.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Magical fountain.
You approach the fountain. Oh, there is one other item that you do notice in this room. Before you approach the fountain, off to the side, like in the southwest corner of the square room, you do see like a golden bird cage with highly filigreed, and it's old, but it seems to have been fairly well preserved somehow. And it's just standing there like a fancy little bird cage.
Is it empty? Can I inspect it?
You see a little teeny skeleton inside,
Oh,
Vegetarian.
about the size of a budgie.
oh. Okay, nothing else odd about it then.
But the cage does seem to be made from gold. And it has like a filigree of another metal. You think that metal might be electrum. So it's not a cheap bird cage, but it's just like a simple bird cage was a decoration to this little kind of maybe it was a room for reflection. Maybe is a little kind of gazebo garden kind of space once upon a time. Given that it had a bird and a fountain in it. Maybe it was somebody's sunroom. Who knows? So you notice that before you get closer to the fountain. Who's looking at the fountain?
Me.
Like, adjust yourselves accordingly. So you're all surrounding the fountain, and describe to me what you're doing. What are you investigating?
Well, I want to investigate that like, central pedestal to see if there's any anything that looks like switches.
You see what looks like bubbling, flowing water. You know, just regular fountain water. Again, a couple coins in the bottom of this fountain, shiny and bright. And there seems to be a slow drip, drip, drip of water from the center spire, you know, kind of just trickling off the side and coming down in little tiny rivulets, like a normal decorative fountain. Still somehow active after all these years. I've already forgotten what you said you're doing. God, my brain!
I'm investigating that central pillar of the fountain to see if there's anything that looks like a lever or a switch.
You reach out to the center pillar. You run your hands along the stone.
Yeah.
At first it just feels like stone. You don't feel any levers or switches. You push at it a little bit harder, and it seems to bobble. Like this pillar could be removed if you use the force. Not the Star Wars force, but if you use some, not the force, but if you use some force, you could remove the center pillar. But as you bobble it a little bit, there is suddenly this silence as the water becomes still. And all at once, the water begins to move and it rises out of the fountain. Different tendrils reaching into the air and rising above the center spire, above your heads. This kind of just this watery, glistening, slightly transparent and blue figure looming over you, and it swipes at Terrell with kind of a pseudopodia. And roll for initiative.
Oh, heck. I've lost where my initiative is. There we go.
That's okay. I've lost where the encounter is. Some combat music. So the sudden watery menace strikes out at you, Terrell.
Uh-huh.
And it tries to slam you with kind of like just this like translucent appendage that has formed from what used to just be like this watery reservoir. And it hits with a 19.
Okay.
You have your damage reduction, but it does do 14 damage to you as it slams you with this watery appendage.
Okay.
With that, it also slams at what's that guy's name? Kai.
Oh my word.
But misses with an 8.
Hey.
And it is Yelena's turn.
All right, I am gonna cast Hunter's Mark on this thing.
All right.
Casting summer.
I casted something. I did 2 spells this go around. I'm hoping I can shoot this.
Spells are real. You are adjacent to it, so when you shoot it, it's with disadvantage because you are in melee range. You would need to move in order to not have disadvantage.
Well, that was a bonus action, so yeah, I can step back. How far back do I need?
An attack of opportunity.
Ah, jeez.
Or a slam of opportunity. So you can either shoot with disadvantage point blank, or risk the attack of opportunity and move away and do it as a normal shooting, McShooty.
I'll do a short sword attack then.
With a 22, a short sword attack lands.
All right. Partially resisted. Okay.
As you stab it, yeah, you realize that it's just a normal short sword that you're doing with piercing damage. You see your sword enter the water, but the substance of this creature just seems to kind of flow around it, and it doesn't do as much damage as with normal flesh and muscle and bone.
Right.
You also notice that the psychic damage, the deathly strikes that normally come with your attacks, have no effect on this creature.
Okay, so I'm assuming Hunter's Mark I can still get that with a sword, or is that only if I'm using the bow and arrow?
I think it still works. Yeah, I think you still get that damage.
So I get 1 extra d6. What do I just roll that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's typed damage, so I'm going to just mark -2 on this thing. So you've done 4 damage with your attack. But you get a second attack, right?
Yeah, I do. Should I be pulling the Hunter's Mark over on this thing? Would that apply the 1d6, or do I just need to roll the extra 1d6?
I think it does.
Let me try. Let me try.
It's been so long. Do I remember? I don't remember. But I think if you roll the effect over the creature, it might do something automatically.
Am I not pulling the right thing?
I'll look at you.
Well, it's going in the background.
Oh, you might have to drag the actual damage, but I'm going to put the effect on it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, it might roll it automatically, it might not. But normally what you would roll is you would put your cursor over the little effect button to the left and drag that to the creature. Theoretically, that makes it roll the damage automatically when you hit. I don't know. We'll see.
Oops.
It'll be something we can learn and then forget by next month.
Exactly. All right, so I'm going to whack this because I got nothing else.
All right, second attack. And it's 16 hits.
Partially resisted. Do I need to still do the 1d6?
Yeah, it looks like you'll have to drag that 1d6 over to it. Because it didn't automatically add 1d6 to that damage roll. All right, but that time you did a total of 9 damage.
Hey!
I'm adding some numbers up here. It was 4 before, plus 9, it should be 13. Total damage has been done on your turn to this watery menace looming over you. And make a nature check, Yelena.
Ha.
With a 25, you think this is an ooze of some sort.
I say that.
Some kind of bad mama jama ooze.
I bet it doesn't like fire.
And that's your turn, correct?
That is my turn.
You're not going to move?
I used the bonus action was the hunter's mark, so I don't think I can do anything else.
You still have movement, in addition to your bonus action and your
Well, if it's gonna
action.
hit me, if it's gonna whack at me, I'm gonna stay put.
You would have to use disengage instead of attacking to not incur an attack of opportunity. Right. Or maybe next time. Never mind. I'm gonna say you're too high in the order for it really to help you out. For the thing to have used its reaction necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
So that is your turn. It is now Kai.
So we're sure it's an ooze.
Yes.
Ooze.
Yelena's pretty sure it's an ooze.
Okay. Alright. I'll attack it with Scorching Ray. And miss. No. Oh,
13
Ooh.
manages to hit. Just hits. Pew pew. Now, is Scorching Ray the one where you do 3 different bolts at it?
I don't think so. Oh, 3 rays of fire.
So the first ray hits. You'll have to roll 2 additional attack rolls to see if rays 2 and 3 hit. So the first one does 9 damage.
Ooh, poor.
Second one, complete bogey. You zap a bolt of fire across the room, just narrowly missing Yelena. Thankfully, nobody's directly opposite you. And the third one hits with a 15, so roll damage for that one as well.
Nice.
10 points of damage. So pew pew, 2 bolts of fire. And you see that the fire seems to work like under normal parameters as far as you're concerned. Normal burniness.
Okie doke. And I'm going to move away slightly.
You incur an attack of opportunity.
Oh, bugger.
But hey, that's the watery menace using up a reaction. And they try to slam you as you move away. And they hit you with a 17. Doing... They do 16 damage to you.
Wow.
Okay.
You are pushed as they smack at you. You're pushed up against the wall. That's why it was extra hurty. To the north, you're just kind of like slammed against that to add insult to injury. But that is your turn. It is now Terrell's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna do a searing smite. If I can remember how to do it.
I think you might. Well, I think you see if you attack first, maybe. See if the attack lands, and then you apply the searing smite before you roll damage. I think.
Right. Okay, that hits. So,
So you hit with your forceful longsword with a 23.
so does that mean it failed its save?
Does your Searing Smite have a save? Because I think for some reason is rolling the Constitution save on the Searing Smite rather than on Yelena for concentration. And maybe I don't understand how Hunter's Mark works.
Right. It says the next time you hit a creature with a melee attack during the spell's duration, your weapon flares with white hot intensity. The attack deals an extra 1d6, and then at the start of each of its turns, the target must make a Constitution saving throw. So that would suggest I do damage plus. Oh, I see. So I do my normal attack damage and then an extra 1d6 fire damage. So if I do my damage, yeah?
Yeah.
That, and then that's my 1d6 extra. And then it has to do a Constitution saving throw at the start of each of its turns.
Okay.
Okay. So that was me. I am not going to move away. I am going to stay put.
No.
Oh, no, I have 2 attacks because I'm a Paladin 5 now.
Yes. And I'm still not convinced that by applying Hunter's Mark to the creature, we have not given the creature an extra d6 of damage and making it roll Constitution saving throws. And that maybe...
I'm looking at it. It doesn't. It's until the spell ends, you deal an extra 1d6 damage to the target whenever you hit it with a weapon attack.
I think maybe we were supposed to drag the effect to you, Yelena, instead of the creature.
Okay.
So I'm going to, I'm looking at the damage rolls because I think you guys should have more health than you do. Like, I think, I think Kai should have 4 more hit points, and I think it's mainly Kai should have 4 more hit points.
Kai would not.
So I think instead of 16 damage, that last hit only did 12 damage to you. So I've given you 4 hit points back, Kai.
Super, thank you.
But I don't see the effect on the Watery Menace right now.
Well, shall I do my second attack?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Because that's not going to impact the Hunter's Mark, because that's just for you later, isn't it?
No, I was just double checking. So you hit with a 17 or like a 24, yeah. Natural 17.
Okay, and that is me done.
All right. So you do 10 damage additionally, or I guess you do 7 damage. You notice that, okay, the slashing damage, that seems to be partially resisted, but the force of your weapon is not.
Okay.
That force effect is fully operational.
Right. Okay, well that makes sense. Sprinkles is not with us.
Yeah, Sprinkles is not with you. So, top of the marching order, and it is the Watery Menace's time to have fun. All of a sudden, this watery, oozy creature, which, Yelena, as you rack your memory, doing your nature check, not only do you think it is an ooze, but you seem to recall a type of creature called an Abalin, A-B-A-L-L-I-N, Abalin, that is a type of ooze often found underground in these kind of situations.
Mm-hmm.
And you recall that they are resistant to many damage types.
Is there anything they're not resistant to?
Well, you definitely remember like, fire and force are good. You remember those. You also remember that if you use cold damage on them, it can slow them down.
Fire and cold, I just yell out. Because I don't think I got none of that.
You know that cold can slow them down. You don't know about whether or not they're resistant to it.
Right.
But this big there's kind of a surge in the water creature. The ooze seems to gird itself and then explode in like a launch of watery ooziness, and it bursts against both Yelena and Terrell. Kai is out of range. Make a strength saving throw, both of you.
Strength is that one.
Yelena, you did a 22. Terrell, you did a 23. Both of you save, so you only take partial damage. Terrell, you take 5 points of damage, and that is partially reduced because of your, whatever, heavy armor thing, Meduba. Yelena, you take 3 points of damage. 3 points of damage. Oh, you take 3 points of damage. And both of you are shoved back 5 feet in a direction back. So I'm going to like roll like clockwise directions to see what direction you're shoved.
Oh, hang on. It should have had a Constitution saving throw as well. From my Searing Smite.
Okay, let me do that. Natural 1 on the Constitution saving throw.
That fails, so it's a 1d6. Do I just roll my damage on it again?
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
So 4 points of damage. And Terrell, from that launch of water, you were shoved back 5 feet.
Okay.
So you're no longer adjacent to it. And Yelena, let me roll for you. You were shoved up. You actually don't get moved. You're kind of like, it tried to shove you in the direction of the column, but the column was there. Wait, did I count that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait, no, never mind. You were shoved back because the column was there. So you are no longer specifically in melee range of the thing. All right, that was its turn. It is now Yelena's turn.
Okay.
So you took some damage, but you're no longer in melee range. You're now in ranged range.
All right, so we'll shoot it.
You go raid your happy place. You hit with a 25.
And one more d6.
So it does 7 points of damage total. I think only 5 of it applied. I'm going to add 2 more to account for your Hunter's Mark damage. You get to attack again.
Woohoo! Miss.
Yeah, a 12 just missed. Just misses.
And can I back up any more of this hallway that's right behind me?
You can go 1 step diagonally.
Just a little extra space.
Any farther than that, and it is rubble.
Yep.
Blocking your path to the south.
All right, I don't think there's anything else I can do here, so.
Okay. Kai, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna do firebolt on the thing. And miss.
The first one. Wait, you did a firebolt, just the firebolt, not a scorchy thing? Okay.
No.
Yeah. So 10 does not hit, and your cantrip just kind of fizzles.
Yeah.
You kind of just shot short and just hit the stones in front of the creature.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically that's me done, innit?
Yeah, I'm afraid so, unless you want to move somewhere.
No, I'll just stay there.
All right. Twiddle the thumbs. It's Terrell's turn.
30 feet. I want to cast Bless.
You drag the best bless effect to everybody that you want to bless.
Right. And it says 30 feet, so I can hit Yelena as well, can't I?
Yes, you can, because she's like 25 feet away.
Alright. Now that's an action. Does that mean I still get an attack if I've got 2 attacks, or is that it?
You use your action to cast the spell rather than attack.
Right.
Unless
Okay,
you
I
have
thought
something
so.
you can do as a bonus that does damage.
No, I don't think so.
So the only thing you can do is move.
I don't want to move, unless I move closer to Kai so I can... No, I'm going to stay put.
What? Okay. So what? Maybe you move closer to Kai so you can.
Well,
no.
if you're within 5 foot of me, I can throw out like my shield if it attacks you. I'm just wondering whether it. I don't know what.
Worth it,
No, whether it's got the range to attack you. No, fine. I move slightly closer to Kai.
I'm only joking.
Just so he feels better about the fact I actually care about him. Yeah, that's it. I haven't got any bonus actions that I can do an attack with, so. But hopefully that will help with everyone else's attack rolls.
So we're top.
If it's back to the watery menace, he has to do another Constitution save.
Okay, is that at the top of their turn or the end of their turn? Does it say?
It says at the start of each of its turns.
Okay, at the start of its turn. So let me do the Constitution save. Let me wiggle. I'm messing everything up. Natural 19 for a 21, so save.
That means it's a save. On a successful save, the spell ends. If it's within 5 feet, it uses an action to put out the flames, or if some other effect douses the flames, the spell ends. Oh no, that's not that. On a successful save, the spell ends. That's it, right? So it's good for. I don't have to worry about that. I can close it now. Right.
So no additional damage, no more unless you cast it again.
Yeah.
At this point, the watery menace crawls out of the fountain.
Oh no, please don't.
Oozes in your direction. It is large and lumbering. It can only move 10 feet. But it is now adjacent to both Kai and Terrell. There is no longer any visible fluid in the fountain. And it tries to slam first Terrell. Hits with a dirty 20. Doing 17 damage.
Bloody hell.
It's making you do a concentration save on the blessed, but you succeeded.
Okay.
With an 18. And then it tries to slam Kai.
Alright, so can I do my reaction? Never mind. Yes, no. Can I do my reaction to give you disadvantage?
Yes, you can. That's an ability you have.
Yes.
I don't remember the name of it, but I remember you have that ability. Okay, let me roll again.
It's my protection fighting style.
Nope, I did one better. So 14 still hits.
See, I didn't need to move.
And this does 16 damage on Kai. And that is the watery menace's turn. And I'm going to make it like it's in a ballin'. It be a ballin'. But never fear, Yelena is here. It is her turn, and that is well into her range distance.
Excellent. Whackity whack. What was that extra thing that hit?
I think the D4 was the bless.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
you
cool.
Get, you get
Awesome.
advantage to your attack
It's
rolls.
nice when it does it for you.
Yeah! Isn't that nice? So, with an 18, you hit this obelisk.
Whoop. So I'll just do the D6 again.
Yeah, the hunter's mark.
Thwack.
I'm gonna subtract 3 more. Because I'm treating hunter's mark as untyped damage. And then you get another attack. You hit with a 19. Does 2 more damage with just the arrow, and then your hunter's mark. Oh, the hunter's mark is only first. Is that the first hit or is it both?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I thought Hunter's Mark.
No,
was
whenever you hit it with a
Okay,
weapon
Yeah.
attack.
Because I think we might have skipped one time. Like last turn, I think we only rolled hunter's mark for your first hit.
I thought I did. Well, maybe not.
But I don't know. But that's 2 more damage. I will apply that. At this point, you see that there are some gaping kind of... It's beginning to look like a Dada sculpture or something. This watery ooze. You know, like those eternal love knot kind of glass Murano statues that get sold to people. I don't think anyone knows what I'm talking about.
No.
Oh, man. Well, maybe I'll share a picture one day. Okay. It's beginning to look like a cruller. No, the crullers don't have holes in it.
Pretzel.
A pretzel, yeah.
I know what
like
pretzel is. Yeah.
This water ooze looks like a pretzel at this point. Yelena, are you moving or doing anything else other than these attacks you've already completed?
Oh gosh. I'm kind of curious what's in the fountain without it in it, but I don't know that I want to move up there right now, so I'm going to stay put.
Okay. Kai, it is your turn.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go all out and chuck a fireball at the bloody thing. And see
Yay.
what happens.
Choke a fireball! Alright, it fails its save.
Yes.
So full damage on the thing with your fireball. Damn!
Oh god, them dice!
Woo!
Man! So... It's still alive. It's still there. But it seems very, very transparent at this point. Like you have evaporated a lot of this ooze.
Right, and now I'm gonna move down this tunnel.
It does get an attack of opportunity if you move away.
Oh, God, no! I'll stay put then. I ain't got I ain't got enough hit points left, so I'll just stay there.
Okay. So that's your turn.
Yep.
Very firebally turn it was. Terrell, you're up.
Alright, I'm just gonna do a normal attack on it. And hope we don't die. Oh, I'll take that.
Whoa! With the bless, you get it's a 30 to hit. Damn. And with that blow, you do in the obelin, this watery ooze that was lurking in the ancient fountain.
I collapse against the wall. Oh my word.
Let me change the music back to
Oh.
something.
that was close. I think we're gonna have to rest.
We're gonna have a long rest, I think. Is it safe in this room so we can have a long rest?
Other than the dead bodies of the dwarf and the budgie, it seems pretty quiet now that there's no trickling water sounds. Every once in a while, a little pebble kind of sprinkles from above. And then you see Sprinkles kind of peering down the hole going, because she's heard the sounds of battle and she's curious what's happening.
So I want to look in the fountain base. Is there anything there where that thing might have been hiding?
The center spire, like what started off the combat was Terrell giving it a little shove.
Mhm.
And disturbing the ooze. It does seem to be movable with enough force.
Do we want to try moving it?
And
Do we want to rest first, just in case he's up behind it? Just to be.
Yeah,
I
we
am
can
down to
rest.
like 9 hit points.
Yeah, let's take a break.
okay, do you want to do a short rest or a long rest?
Who has to do a long rest?
Yeah, long rest because I need to get my spell
Okay.
slots back as well.
So you're gonna just put you're choosing to like put anything with Belafauna and Ragnar and the cultists.
Shit.
Tabling that. I'm just saying. I mean, it's your choice, and who knows what that means? I mean, I kind of know what that means, but you don't know what that means. I'm just gauging your urgency.
What do you get with a short rest?
Half your hit points back, or half
you can use your hit dice to heal.
And I've just realised I've misread the combat tracker, and my initiative is 9, not my hit points are 9. So I don't need a long rest.
You have 27 hit points.
Yeah, so I do need to set some back. Let's do a short rest, and I can do a hit point.
And don't you have a pariah pit of health or something, Terrell, so that you get like maximum healing off of your hit die or something weird like that? Or did I just make that up? Did I confuse you with another character?
You might have done. I don't think I've got it, unless it's Kai that's got that. Have checked your inventory.
I feel like someone had a pariah pit of health, but maybe you just talked about
no, I've got a pariah pit of wound closure.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm talking about. Let me look at it.
And what does it do?
While you wear this pendant, you stabilize whenever you are dying.
Right. Okay. So whenever you roll hit die to regain hit points, double the number of hit points you restore. Oh. So if you took a short rest and used hit die to heal yourself, you would get twice as much healing. Kai.
Okay. Well, we'll do short rest then.
But what about your spell stuff? Is that what you were worried about?
Yeah,
You do have that one thing of arcane recovery, I think, where you can get up to 2 levels of spells back. Call me crazy. I'm thinking that's how your character works. Arcane recovery.
Whack us with a short rest and see what happens.
During a short rest, once a day, when you finish a short rest, you can choose expended spell slots to recover. The spell slots can have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your wizard level. So since you're level 5, that's 2 levels worth of spells. So you can either recover a second level spell or you can recover 2 first level spell slots.
Okie doke.
Over this long rest, but you can't get any fireballs back.
Right. It's fine.
Okay, so short rest?
Yep.
So is it the same for me for spell slots?
No, that's a wizard thing.
Okay.
I think you get because they changed how Hunter's Mark works, I think you maybe get any charges of Hunter's Mark back.
I mean, it's a level 1 spell, so I'm assuming it could just be as many spell slots as I've got, I can use it.
I think it was like I think you get free uses of Hunter's Mark. You don't have to. We were using the D&D 1 rules, and basically is what was happening, and we were treating it as a class ability, so that you don't have to mark off. You get free charges of Hunter's Mark up to your proficiency bonus. So that's like 3 right now.
Okay.
Am I crazy? So when you cast Hunter's Mark, do not mark off a level 1 spell.
Okay.
Slot. That's what I'm saying. That's a freebie. And it resets when you short rest. I think maybe it's long rest. I can't remember. It's been so long, and we do this once a month.
So I've charged off. I've used 1 first level and 1 second level. So do those just stay used?
Unless one of the first levels was the Hunter's Mark, you give yourself the level 1 back. But this level 2 is gone for now until you take a long rest.
Gotcha.
This is me giving you guys a short rest.
Do we need to roll anything for the hit points?
You do need to roll
hit dice.
Go to your front page of your character and use that little hit dice and roll it on yourself. And Kai, you double whatever you got. So I think like you rolled 1 hit die on yourself, you should have 14 hit points healed instead of 7. Does that make sense? So should I give you back another 7 hit points, Kai? Because you've
Has
only
he
had...
not done it already? No.
No, it healed you for the first 7, but you get double because of your pariah pit of wound
Right.
closure.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you're only 14 hit points down.
Oh, that's fine. And I give myself a what is it back? Spell slot.
Okay, level 2 spell slot.
Yeah, it's a level 2 spell slot,
Okay.
not the level 3 spell slot.
Yeah, next level you can, recover a fireball, but not at level 5.
Okay.
You guys are level 5, right?
Yeah.
I haven't forgotten
yeah.
something. Ah, but keep killing obelins, and you'll be level 6 before you know it.
Wow.
Okay, so you've had a short rest. You have had time to bind your wounds slightly, somewhat. None of you are in perfect health, but you have patched up after that combat, feeling not so rough. Are you now going to investigate this fountain?
Yeah.
Yes, but to be fair, it's like after 9.
I think we can safely say that it's easy with like Terrell and Yelena working together. You can easily shove aside the center spire of this fountain, and underneath it you find a bag, and within that bag there is some coin as well as a weapon.
Ooh.
And I'm just going to move that into your party inventory. And that's where we will end up the session. And I put the gold bird cage in here as it being a thing of
Okay.
value. I don't know if you guys want to take that or not. But you also
yeah.
find a weapon. It is a faintly glowing longsword. And I will say, like, it seems to not necessarily be a weapon made out of metal at first glance. And it is carved somewhat. Well, actually, it's weird because it looks like it should be a longsword. What you're familiar with since you're proficient with longswords, Terrell. The bell on it is shaped like a curled golden leaf. And in the center of the pommel, it seems to be almost ringed like a tree trunk that's been split open.
Mm.
And in the center of it, there seems to be like this sliver of some kind of wood substance, like not metal. But the blade isn't immediately apparent when you uncover this cache of treasure. But when you pick up the sword by the pommel to inspect it closer, a blade springs forth, stretching out and growing from it as if it is the branch of a tree. And then it stretches out. It's smooth, like some kind of shiny petrified wood. It's slightly bowed in the middle, but it forms like this long sword. And you can tell that it obviously seems magical, though it would take more study to identify more about the nature of this blade.
Mm.
And
Well, that's exciting.
so, uncovering the treasure that the Abilene was napping on, and that's where we'll end the session.
Okay. Does anyone else use a longsword?
No, I think that's probably yours.
Then I will take the longsword if that's
Yeah.
okay.
Leafy longsword. I should have called it that in the unidentified description.
You can change it if you wish.
Leafy longsword. I need to stop the sounds because that just sounds weird now that we aren't playing. let the like gurgly sounds fade. Okay, well that was the session. I don't know how you guys feel. I mean, I feel like it's okay. I feel like at times, like I was kind of like, I wasn't giving you enough like direction as to what maybe what you should pursue, and maybe,
we could have spent a whole lot of time figuring out the bridge
I
puzzle.
did not anticipate. I will tell you that I pictured you guys dealing with the bridge thing in somehow a more straightforward way. I thought you guys were just gonna like dive below and explore and like fiddle with the water. Somehow I just assumed that that was going to be the way that would.
Well, I thought about that, like filling up the water and then swimming across, but then you have to.
Or you would immediately go towards, hey, let's patch something together and make a new bridge. And it took
eventually.
It took a little bit longer to get to that point than I expected.
Look, Bonnie, you have run our sessions now for several years. You should know by now. We will go the long way.
I should know by now. So like I was like, oh darn. So I felt like I was kind of like letting you down in terms of pacing, because I did actually think we would have more action. Like I thought we might actually have 2 combats. I wasn't really counting the green slime as a combat.
Hint, hint.
Yeah, that's also just being, well, yeah. I don't know. I just didn't think it was a straightforward way to get across the. And I was worried about it diving into the water and wearing armor and drowning.
Well, you can always take armor off, you know.
I don't want to do
push
that.
push Kai in. Push Kai in.
Push Kai in. That'd be
He's
funny.
not wearing armor. So for all you know, I mean, you don't know who the dead body is in the water yet. So I'm like, okay. All right.
This is where we find out it's Belafauna, and we're just like completely shafted. But anyway,
yeah. I feel like Sprinkles would have maybe indicated something. I didn't think it would be that far away.
Yeah,
that she
maybe.
wouldn't have reacted.
But this hole is a dead end, isn't it? There's no way out. So
she did discern that Belafauna has been in the direction of where the hole is, as well as the direction you came from.
All right, so she's not in the water. We don't think. Well, unless she backtracked and Anyway,
but I
right.
think Kim does make a good point that she might have been able to notice that, been able to tell that, hey, that really stank of Belafauna.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a good guess that it's not her. The DM says out of game. How did you feel about the combat against the Abalin?
No, I enjoyed that.
Was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I would have felt.
I'm sitting there looking. It's like I don't know if arrows are going to work on this, and they sort of didn't, not as well as they normally do, I guess.
Yeah, but I honestly thought I was down to 9 hit points. It's only until after the combat finished that I realized that was my initiative roll. And like, for fuck's sake.
But still, everybody got a little bit beat up. And I was curious if we would reach a point with these little combats, if you guys would take a long rest, or if you would keep pushing to chase down possible Belafauna in danger. So that's been interesting for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, because we jumped straight down into the sewers after we heard about a possible monster, so it wouldn't make sense to be like, taking an 8-hour rest.
You were so urgent when you ran straight for the sewers. You're like, she's in mortal peril. We gotta go.
And maybe she's back at the hotel at the inn.
Yeah, we'll get back and she'll be there.
Sipping a whiskey, being like, good times in the sewers. Well, I don't know. We'll find out eventually. But next time we play, I have down March 18th.
Right, and you said that's when you're sort of like between daylight savings time.
Yes, our daylight savings time will have happened. Your daylight savings time is yet to be. So it will be an hour earlier for you, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's how time works.
18th, yeah.
On the 18th, March 18th. And then the next Pathfinder is on March 5th.
Yes.
2/15.
Oh.
Hang on. Are we supposed to be going out that day? No, Sunday.
It's on Sunday.
Oh, yes, Sunday.
You said it's a holiday the next day, and we might be able to play a little bit later. If you guys might not get sleepy. But if you do get sleepy, it's fine.
Do. No, it's fine. It's just my sister was on about doing something, but we can rearrange.
Yeah, we can arrange it. It's just because it's my birthday, that's all.
It's your birthday?
Well, it's my birthday on the Saturday, and
Okay. Still, I'll try not to kill you during Pathfinder because I think that'll
well,
just
that'd be
sad.
nice. All right, so
So I think I've covered all the dates, and unless anybody else has like an urgent task or like feedback about what they like, didn't like, or what they're hoping to do next session. I mean, I think that's the only thing for me is I want to know where your heads are at so I can adequately prepare. But you're all rested. You've just gotten treasure.
Yeah. So I mean, I obviously want to play around with the longsword at some point, but
so it's been about, I'd say, an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes, maybe 2 hours since you first entered the sewers.
Right. So I reckon next session it's a case of getting back out the hole and trying to find Bellafana then. If it's
maybe 3 hours since you last saw Bellafana at the tavern at the Singing Sprite.
She is, you're right. She's going to be back in the bloody tavern. We're going to run around these bloody sewers, not find her, and she's going to be down there having a whiskey.
But hey, you found some dead cultists, you found some adventure, you found some loot.
Yeah,
I feel we should have.
And a really cool sword.
Yeah, exactly. I really want to see what the sword can do.
Now, one thing I will say is you don't know if this is the monster that there was a bounty out for. And if it was the monster, there is now no remains. When you killed the ooze, it pretty much just dissipated.
Well,
oh, that's a good point.
So if this is what it was, you're probably screwed out of getting a bounty. But maybe there's other things in the sewers. You don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't know. As long as you can find something that looks like it's killed people.
Well, there's probably a bounty for whatever that statue.
And
there was something else. And there was something else. Wasn't there another crate at the bottom of that?
At the bottom of the what was that called?
Where the other dead body is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The detention tank.
Maybe we need to.
Yeah, maybe we
scoot down there after we've made sure we've.
We'll push Kai in. He can swim.
Push Kai in. Thank you, Groovy, for watching, joining us all in any 1.9 other people, and yeah, I feel like there was something else I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was having to do with. There was a crate down below in the water receptacle.
So maybe that's our statue down there. If that one. The hall is not ours.
Who knows? If there's active thievery of statues from Elkhorn Emporium.
Yeah, really.
It may be relevant to your interests.
That's ambitious. So much easier to steal small, expensive things.
Yeah, I mean, big statues, it's not easy.
Here's the point. You know you're picking up a statue, but you guys don't know what size the statue is.
Right. The fact that it's called a statue makes me think it's not small.
Yeah, they did use the word statue, not statuette.
Right.
You have no information about what size or dimension this statue is that you're picking up of Angorad. Okay. Well, I think with that, I will let you guys go. Thanks. I think it was fun.
Yeah, it was. Thank you so much.
It was.
There are a few too many moonshine cherries, but at the end, it wasn't so bad. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one.
You too.
You too. Thank you, Bonnie. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.